Army, we are live. We are live. Well, this is the URT. You are the URT. Big up the URT. Smash a like for the URT. Subscribe to the URT. Congratulations. Breaking news. Congratulations to Arsenal Football Club. They've won the league. Big up. Yeah, one of the most boring teams in history to have won the league, but they're not going to care. And they waited 20-something years for it. So congratulations. City drew tonight. Bournemouth put on a masterclass. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Iriola, man. Iriola, man. We all know Iriola, man. We all know Iriola. You all know Iriola, man. What a masterclass. What a masterclass that he put on. And he's a fantastic coach, and if he leaves the Premier League, we're going to be sad to lose him. That level of quality of a coach. Yeah, I'm just putting a tweet out there. Spurs can still go down. Go down, mate. But yeah, people, come on in. We're going to be talking about Anderson. We're also going to be talking about what happens in terms of what happens to the way that now Pep's leaving. Obviously, Pep's leaving. It's, to me, the question is the 115 charges coming? Is that why he's leaving? And does that give a clear way? Does that mean that Man City have a competition when it comes to signing Elliot Anderson? Or will he still go to City? We're going to all of that to discuss. All of that and more, people. So come on and smash the like, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And let's be having you, people. Let us be having you. Big up and love. Yeah. Big up and love, people. But please smash the like, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Big up, Ben. How you doing?
Yeah, big up, Nerdin. Big up the chat, man. Smash the likes, people, and subscribe. Free Palestine, free everyone around the world that's suffering with oppression and suffering with the state we shall not speak, or it's not even known around this world. But yeah, big up, man. Smash the likes, people.
Smash the likes, people. Smash the likes. Who are we? URT. Yeah, big up Ferry. Big up everybody that's here. Please smash the like, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. It is what it is. Man City drew 1-1 with Bournemouth. Bournemouth are some 18 or 17 games unbeaten now. And that wasn't enough to Arsenal win the league. But like Java said, one of the most boring teams. I think the first I'm going to be fair. The first 4 or 5 months of the season, they played really good football. And they were everybody's favourites to win the league, and rightfully so. In the last 4 months, it's been dull, man. I'm not going to lie to you. It's been absolutely dull. And I'm not gonna mince my words. I've not seen a worse team to be crowned champions in terms of the football they play. They win games from corner kicks. Tony Pulis FC. Big up Tony Pulis. Tony Pulis is the guy who basically made sure that they are the team that does it. Big up to Adewale. Appreciate the generous super chat. Glazers Ineos are officially made us the laughingstock of the big clubs in the league. Our last hope is PSG. But hey, look on the bright side. Bruno's about to get assist record. Roy Keane is right. The standards of this club is in the got 100%. Roy Keane, I agree with 100% with Roy Keane. The thing that, Adewale, what most of you, maybe me, you will know, Roy Keane was calling Manchester United. He got kicked out of Manchester United for calling the players out. He got kicked out of Manchester United for calling the players out. So Roy Keane is consistent when it comes to that. Same thing about, the little clip when he shows about the Newcastle striker dancing, doing the Michael Jackson. He's got moves. The kid's got moves. If you know, you know. But yeah, we are the laughing stock. And the only trophy we're celebrating is the Bruno assist trophy. I didn't know that was a trophy, but it looks like there is a trophy. When you're at this football club, when you support this football club, and you are grasping for any PR, then of course you're going to celebrate that. Of course you're going to celebrate it. But yeah, big up to Alex Scott. I don't know if you watched the game, City game, Ben. Alex Scott.
I did. Oh, I did.
What a player, man. First half, I thought he ran that game, Second half, obviously, City were always going to come back into it. But yeah, I thought he ran the game, man. And Bournemouth, boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy, man. Iriola. Boy, oh boy. Talk to me, Ben. I hope you're well, bro. I don't know. All is well. I hope all is well as well. Big up to you.
bro.
Oh, but yeah, people, come on in, people. Last how many subs we're on? We're not even on one. Let me have a check. But we're not on. Last time I checked, we were not even on. We're not on 100. You know what I mean? We're not on 100 yet. 15.1. We're not on there yet. We're not even on 15.1 yet. But we're nearly there. We're nearly there, people. Yeah. Let's get to 15.2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do it, people. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. But yeah, let's have a little vote. Were Arsenal worthy champions? I think on the first 5 months of the season, yes. In the last 4 or 5 months, Tony Pulis football, mate. Go ahead, but how do you think what kind of champions have Arsenal have been?
Oh, the worst. The worst ever. It's definitely up there. Mixed feelings tonight. One side of me is I'm happy for Arsenal because fuck City. Regardless, there are rival in a way, not as much as Liverpool. In my opinion, I think Liverpool would be our biggest rivals, and then I would say Arsenal, then City. That's just my opinion, people, because I think Arsenal, Man United is a huge rival too. So look, mixed feelings tonight. I'm happy for the actual football club itself for Arsenal. I'm glad they won because the football club they run very, very well in a way, like especially in the last few seasons. And part of me isn't happy because I as when it comes to Liverpool fans and Arsenal fans, I can't think of anything worse, man. Like the Arsenal fans are literally saying that Arteta's now better than Sir Alex Ferguson. And look, people are gonna laugh. That this is what the Arsenal fan base is taught. Like that they're taught by this. Like I just don't know. Like do you know what's crazy, man? Like even though they say these things, like these mad statements, like Mikel Arteta is a better coach than Sir Alex Ferguson. Do you know what's crazy? As mad as that comment is and that statement is, I don't think it's anything worse than Man United fans right now because. Yes, we can all say that Arsenal were always a banter club in these last few years, but we were literally rock bottom. Even though we were like doing better than Arsenal in terms of placements and stuff, we were getting the Champions League, we were getting the Europa League. They were literally suffering at times. But how they operated as a football club and how they dealt with it in terms of like they acted to their best, the owners and Arteta acted to their best interest. And what they did was the fan base got fed up obviously with the whole Super League stuff, and the fan base were all saying, "How can you get rid of Ozil? How can you get rid of Aubameyang? How can you get rid of Mustafi?" Because these, well, especially Ozil and Aubameyang, and to some degree Pepe, they were fan favorites. They were fan favorites, and all the whole fan base was like against them selling them. And what did they do? They did the best. They acted to their best interest for the football club. They got rid of them. The fan base was like, can we move on from here? Can we start can we start a new journey? And look what's happened. They're Premier League champions. They're in the Champions League final. They brought in Saliba. Sorry, they brought back Saliba. They bought Odegaard, Trossard, Gyökeres, Declan Rice, Zubimendi. They've literally done their bit. And people can say give Arteta credit. I mean, I don't want to give him credit because I think the first 2 years of Arteta's reign, it was actually quite good in terms of his football, his philosophy and stuff. But I think the biggest credit that the Arsenal fan base need to give is these owners, their owners, and the director of football, because they've actually helped them so much. Yes, this is one thing the Arsenal were very serious in terms of their director of football is they didn't listen to the fans. And when you listen to the fan base in terms of any signings, in terms of any outgoings, then that's a real concern. We, we as a club, we wanted to keep Eric Ten Hag in the job. We actually sent out letters to Ineos asking to keep Ten Hag in the job. We literally everyone wants to the fan base is so split into well, I wouldn't say. Well, one of them is 3/4 because 75% of people love the likes of Rashford, the likes of Bruno Fernandes, and then a quarter of the fan base, like they're the real OGs because they actually want the best interest for their club. Because when you're setting up for a football team, you don't play through one guy. It's the same with Arsenal. You don't play through one fucking guy like Saka. You play through Declan Rice, Zubimendi, Martinelli, Gyökeres. There's a fucking list, Lewis Skelly. They've actually set out a brilliant team. And look, their defense has won them the league because Saliba and Gabriel have been two monsters. They've been outstanding in my opinion. And yeah, look, congratulations to them. It's gonna be hard, man, because I don't want them winning the Champions League. That would literally kill my soul in a way, because honestly, it just means that as a United fan, I can't really speak shit anymore, to Arsenal, and I really couldn't speak shit, even though they've never won a Champions League before. We've won so much more Premier League trophies than them, but I still can't speak down on an Arsenal fan in that sense, because reason being, the difference between us and them is night and day. They've got way better owners. They're not in debt. We are in debt. We're delusional because we send out letters to fucking our owners, demanding a player to stay, a manager to stay. It's I can hear some music.
Sorry.
No, you're all good, all good. But it's the list goes on and on, man. And look, I'm happy for them because I'm getting sick and tired of Man City now, winning the league all the time. I bet you're obviously feeling at times really annoyed being around Manchester with a lot of Manchester City fans. And look, Pep Guardiola is leaving now, so look, maybe the league is going to be into some degree an entertaining league in terms of we don't know who's going to win the Premier League next season because Pep's moving on, leaving on a high, and Xabi Alonso's now coming in. Areola once again tonight. Nurden, you're on Mandem Talk tomorrow. Yes, I may not be Areola's massive fan, but I would still 100% take him over to Michael Carrick. But Nurden, please stress talk tomorrow on that Mandem Talk to the whole panel, because Areola tonight, absolutely masterclass. Do you know what's crazy, Nurden? In the 89th minute of that game against Manchester City, they're literally the players are all pumped up. The players aren't tired. They're not tired. Whereas other teams like us, when it comes to the 80th or 85th minute, we're shattered. We're shattered because why? The intensity isn't there. The physicality isn't there. And like I said, Nurda, the more I watch Bournemouth, the more I say, okay, this guy's actually a serious coach. He really, really is. He understands the physicality of the game, the intensity of the game, the aggression of the game. And yet we have a manager, a fucking fanboy, a puppet, who is going to be sleeping with Sir Jim Ratcliffe next season. And please prove me wrong, Carrick. Please prove me wrong. I want you to go and do bits, man. Prove me wrong by playing good football. But I'm sorry, man. I'm not having a fucking puppet in my football club. Pep Guardiola's left. The $1 million question everyone's asking. Where's Pep going? So he's managed at Bayern Munich. He's managed at Barcelona. There's only one more club. That's a big, big club. And that's PSG. I'm sorry, man. If Ineos would have done their fucking job and said, "How you doing, Luis Campos? Let's bid 35 million or 25 million to pay out Luis Enrique's contract," and say Luis Enrique says, "Oh, now that Pep Guardiola's leaving, City, we'll go after Pep Guardiola and tell him to come to PSG. You can have Luis Enrique, and there you go, job done. I don't need to do any more. People are going to say it's impossible. It's not really impossible because now that the best coach in history, in Pep Guardiola, is now available, people are going to say he's retiring. Like Pep's retiring. He's not. He's not retiring. He's only 55 years of age. He hasn't managed PSG and other big leagues as well. So look, the $1 million questions out there, and once again, fans just want to get behind this puppet in Michael Carrick because he's good man management. He understands the club. Like honestly, just give it a fucking rest, man. Do you know what it is, Nerden? My final message. I'm just fed up tonight at us. I'm just really fucked off of us now. It's almost becoming hatred now because the fan base just need to get a fucking grip, man. And we had the audacity to slag off Arsenal fans for calling them a banter club when we have kept a fucking racist guy at our football club and actually accepted £1.3 billion in debt football club. Get out of here, man.
100%. 100%, Ben. Big up. Listen, at the end of the day, we are what we are, innit? The ownership is the ownership. The structure, what we have, is the structure what we have. And like I said, at the end of the day, congratulations to Arsenal. Even though I think the last 4 months, they've just limped over the line. Maybe that you could say is all of the pressure. Maybe now that's it. Now they're going to take the league by storm. Pep Guardiola is not going to be here to challenge them next season. But I've just put our Arsenal worthy champions. Just to bring you up to date, bit of the other result. It's 2-1, and it is 88 minutes gone to Chelsea in Spurs, between Spurs and
2-1.
Chelsea.
Oh wow!
It's 2-1 to Chelsea.
Oh.
Yeah.
If Spurs draw, that's safe. They're not relegated.
Safe. Yeah.
I hope
lose. Yeah.
I hope Spurs get relegated, man. And my dad, who's a Leeds fan, he's getting really worried, man, because he said if West Ham beat Leeds and Spurs lose to Everton, my dad's gonna be he's gonna be like, oh my god, it's gonna be very mixed feelings, because the Spurs fans are gonna hate Leeds fans. It's gonna be crazy, man.
Spurs fans hate. Fans hate each other anyway. So
I know, 100%. I know.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Listen, people, please smash the like, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Let's get to 15.1k. Let's do it, people. We can do it with the people that are on here at the moment. Where I think, 35 short of 15.1k. So let's do it, people. Love and like. But yeah, let's get into the discussion. Discussion is what it is. Manchester United are where we are. Pep Guardiola's leaving. That's the big news that broke yesterday. I wanted to see it from the boys. I wanted to discuss it. And Arsenal are. They've won the league. Let me just give a bit of historical context. So Stan Kroenke owned Arsenal, but he owned, I think, 50 or 60% of it. The other 40% was owned by a guy called Usmanov. Now, he's managed to buy out Usmanov, and what he managed to do is to then take full control of the football club in a sense. And then the Super League happened, and Arsenal were one of the teams that we bullied into the Super League. After that, Kroenke's son, I forgot his name, but he became the what you would call the coach. Sorry, the hands-on owner that came to London. He set a plan. They got Arteta. They got Edu. They went on a journey. Edu left. They got another guy now in this season. The guy who was a director at Atletico Madrid, Barata, I think his name's or something like that. So now they've won the league. Arteta spent $1 billion nearly. So you have to spend money, but you have to have people who know what they're doing. And that's what's happened. So congratulations to Arsenal. I've got a lot of friends and family, especially down south, who are big Arsenal fans. So congratulations to them. I think the last 4 months have been not good football. It's been boring football, and I'm going to stand by that. I'm a football purist. To me, it's about how you win. It's not just about how you lose, how you draw. It's about how you win, how you lose, how you draw. It's about all those things. but I'm not going to begrudge them. 22 years in waiting, and they've done it. Pep Guardiola leaving. I said it. I put a tweet out, I think last week. I've been asking a couple of my friends who are City fans. I'm actually going to see if I can get him on, actually. Let me see if I can get him on, but big up to him.
Big up, man.
To Johnny. Let me see if I can get Johnny on this.
Well, people, I want to question in the chat as well. What do we all think of, like, even though it was very predictable that it was going to happen, but I was kind of surprised because I thought City would have went for Vincent Kompany instead, but they've went for Enzo Maresca. And people, I want to stress this in the chat as well. They've sacked Pep Guardiola, who plays a 4-3-3. That's Pep Guardiola's favorite formation, his best success formation throughout his whole managerial career. But they've literally went for someone who plays a 4-3-3, that he's the same formation he played at Chelsea, and obviously he's been an assistant to Pep. So once again, Manchester City have got rid of someone. They're bringing in someone else who's worked alongside him, and he plays literally a similar style to Pep. What did we do? We got Sir Alex Ferguson said those famous words, you all back your manager. We bring in David Moyes. What is the difference between David Moyes' system and Sir Alex Ferguson's system? It's completely like trying to freaking fly to fucking Mars. It's literally impossible at this rate right now. It's crazy, man. Like, honestly, like how like it's actually kind of embarrassing in a way. It was a very smart decision, regardless from City, man, because even though Kompany would have been great as well, because Kompany plays a similar system to Pep as well. But it's crazy, man. Like, it's a fair play to City, man. Like, obviously for acting wise, because they could have chose a different path, man. They could have chose a different path, and it's the same with Liverpool. People, all the fans were all saying Liverpool, we're going to get Xabi Alonso, but Xabi Alonso is not the right fit for Liverpool. Why? When did Liverpool ever play a three at the back? They've never played a three at the back for a long time. You're talking decades. When did Man United play a three at the back? We never played a three at the back, and yet we still got someone else. There you go. Big up, man.
Johnny. Yeah, no, 100%. What you said, Ben.
Yeah,
exactly. They've got Maresca. Johnny, this is one of my brethren's. Long time. I've known him. Diehard City fan. One of the diehard City fans. Listen, Johnny. Obviously, your boys come short tonight, but we're here to talk about the bigger news. Pep Guardiola, 10 years at Man City, and he'll be leaving at the end of the season. He's got one more game for you.
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
Come on, pay the tribute, man. Take it away. Give me what Pep has done for you. What's Pep done to you as a Man City fan? And Johnny, by the way, Johnny's not the born-again City fans. Johnny was a City fan back in the day when they were shit. Right, so let's put it in the context, yeah. Johnny remembers Paul Dickov's 1999.
Paul Dickov, wow. Kevin Orlock, Super Kev, everyone, Georgie King-Clancy back in the day, the old lot, yeah.
And Johnny is actually from the local community, so Johnny,
rush home, main road. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. I went to the primary school across the way, but I've known Johnny for a couple of years, so love to Johnny. Johnny, talk to me. Wait, pay the tribute. Yeah. Obviously, how are you feeling about tonight? The team, I think you've come a bit short because you're changing a team and a lot of older players, transitional period, but you still give Arsenal, take them to the second last game of the season.
I think first things first, you got to say congratulations to Arsenal this season. They've been more consistent throughout the whole season than we have. We've had, and that's hard to say because we've had opportunities to catch them, but we just didn't take them. I'm thinking about the draws against Brighton. I'm thinking the draws against Forest. Draws against even coming up like Everton. We in previous seasons we would have nailed them down. And just in, but yeah, like you say, it's a transitional season. If you think about it, there are two main centre backs, Diaz and Guardiola, at the beginning of the season. Both got major injuries, went out. In the mid-season, we had we had to recall a youth team player coming back from Watford on loan, and then Kusanov. But he's bought well in January, and it surprised me how well they've got back. But overall, I'm not that gutted because actually Arsenal have been more consistent. They ground out the results, and in fairness, congrats to Arsenal.
Yeah, can I ask you, Johnny? For the last 4 or 5 months, have they won it with Tony Pulis football? Let's be honest.
Who? City?
No, Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Tony Pulis football. Have they won it with Stokes? Corners.
They've got the run of the green. I think that
have you
West
enjoyed
Ham
watching them? Have you, as an opponent, have you enjoyed watching Arsenal?
Not really, no.
Oh, there you go. They're not entertaining. But anyway, talk to me about Pep. 10 years.
Pep, the most entertaining City manager we've ever had, the most successful manager we've ever had. Just a real joy to watch. His teams have played incredible football. I'm talking about, actually, I remember the first season he came in, and I mean, Joe Hart was firm fan favorite, and he dropped him for, Claudio Bravo, Calamity Bravo, we called him back in the day. And they lost away at Everton. And we thought, what is this guy on about? What is going on?
Was it 4-0? 4-1 or 4-0?
4-0. Yeah. And I remember after that game walking out going, I'm not sure I'm really buying into this. Does he really know what he's doing? But the next season was the Centurion season. And, you gave him a bit of time. And I think that to me was probably, you had David Silva and Kevin De Bruyne as the 2 number 10s, and then you had Sane, Sterling, and Aguero or Jesus up front. If rapid, just absolutely rapid, and just the most entertaining, most goals scored. That was the season you thought, oh my God, this is just unbelievable. I think there was a game against Stoke. They won 5 or 6-2, 5-2, something like that. Unbelievable. Go back and watch, David Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, unbelievable. I also remember going to a game, which is quite funny, was first leg Champions League against Monaco. Because we're talking about Bernardo leaving, and that was a Bernardo Silva. He was in the Monaco team, a Monaco team that had Mbappe, it had Falcao, it had Mendy, and all of these great players in it. What a game, it was, I think it was 5-2, 5-3 at the end, penalties, all kinds of decisions going on. What a game, really just one of the top, you go to that game and you think, unbelievable, you never forget it. But Pep, just consistently, he's changed the mentality of the club, in a very short space of time. I mean, we have had a success. We have had success before that. We won the league with Mancini. We won the league with Pellegrini. But we haven't had that consistency. Do you know what I mean? Like 6 league titles in 10 years. It's just unheard of. Before that, the league title was 1969, something like that. Before, unbelievable. Just incredible. Yeah. And I was hoping if the rumours were untrue. I was hoping it. But, things have come out now. And you can't deny the guy a break. He's done well. His main nemesis, I think, was Jurgen Klopp. And I will always look back on those Liverpool City games. And to be honest with you, they got the better of us quite a few times. But on the overall season, we put them to it. So, yeah, I mean, what a legend. I think everyone should be sad in English football that you're just missing such a great manager, really. I mean, United fans, Ferguson was great. He had a great personality. He had that longevity. You know, I was trying to think today. Ferguson, what was he, 91, 1990? And he went till 2012, like
When he came,
22 years.
No, Fergie came in 86.
Right, wow.
86, yeah. He came in 86.
So it took him like a couple of 6 years to get the title, really, hey?
Yeah, it took him, 1990 was the first one, isn't it? After 3
I
years.
remember people saying that if it wasn't for Mark Robbins in the FA Cup, they were going to sack Fergie.
Yeah.
Because he saved them. He came on and scored a few goals.
He did. He did the FA Cup, but Martin Edwards, they talked to Martin Edwards, who was the owner, the family who owned, and he said, no, they weren't going to start Fergie because he was doing a lot of great things behind the scenes in terms of the scouting, so scouting young players, the academy. He was sorting a lot of the things out.
Definitely.
Yeah. So generally, how are you feeling? Are you sad, or was this day always coming?
No, I'm sad. It was a shock. I personally felt he would have one more season in him. I believed, when he was saying, one more year. And I kind of
answered the question, really. He said, I'm under contract. He said, I've got a contract. But I put it out. I tweeted it out about a couple of weeks ago. But I've been saying it to a lot of City fans that he's leaving. I just felt it. I felt that, especially soon, their biggest clue was as soon as your fitness coach said he's leaving at the end of the season. I'm like, he's been with Pep in Barcelona. That means Pep's leaving. And then we saw that little bit of footage where he's going around. I think they were filming. A piece. He's got the 20-something trophies in the center circle. You know what I mean? And so then we saw that, and then we were like, okay, that's what's happening.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's just sad, and to just take a moment of kind of to realize how great he was, and obviously everyone, City fans, have been like, what do you think of Maresca? Is he any good? What's going on? I'll be honest with you, today I had a look back on Maresca, and I kind of think we need to look back more than the Chelsea days, because Chelsea, like you say, Mr. Structure, is just not a great structured club. Just to see how he did in that Chelsea, Leicester team when they got promoted, and apparently did really well. Some great Lewis Hall and Wilfred Ndidi played really well in that season, record points. So I'm not sure if he's going to be I think for a lot of City fans, we would like one of our own. We would like Company in an ideal world, because we know Company is City through and through. But give the guy a chance. You know what I mean? Someone else was saying on a City blog that Maresca was responsible for a couple of the treble season tactical inversions. John Stones in midfield, they said that was Maresca. I don't know. Maybe it was. But if that's the case, it bodes well, and you give him a chance, because at the end of the day, he's working within a structure with Khaldoon Al-Mubarak, which is chalk and cheese compared to Chelsea's structure. Do you know what I mean? So behind the scenes. So we'll just see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, we've let you get the pleasantries out, and it's now that you're on a United channel. It's now get you in a meat grinder now, right? So Maresca is used to the Championship. Is the reason why I hired him, because the charges are coming. Is that why Pep's leaving, Johnny? The 115 is coming down the line, my friend, and Pep's getting off. And then you've got a guy who's used to getting teams out of the Championship in Maresca.
I've no idea on the 115. All I know, every time I see 115, I see, there's a football inside. I've done this, or someone's got this, and it's just clickbait, and you read it, and it's just no news. We'll get the news when we get the news. Do you know what I mean? And
do you believe that City have done? You're usually a fair, reasonable balance.
Yeah.
Fan. Do you think there is a case for them to answer? Do you understand that they've done things wrong to inflate Man City's in terms of outreach, and they set up these fake companies so that you could buy players at the rate that you were buying them? Let's be honest, Johnny. Be honest.
I mean,
is there some truth to some of these charges? Basically,
I've no idea. I don't know. You're talking out of the realm of football and going into the realm of accounting and everything else. And the fans don't have any idea whether they paid someone off, whether they not paid someone off. Who knows?
It's not about paying somebody off. Do you know what you're accused of? Do you understand the charges that City are accused of?
Yeah, I know FFP, but I also know that those rules were only brought in after the likes of PSG, City, other teams. Chelsea. If you go back to when Chelsea were doing well, when Jack Walker was doing well at Blackburn, when other teams brought the money in, those rules weren't there. So they're kind of like...
Well, state ownership, the state ownership, obviously, because of the power of spending.
Well, do you know what? I'm not really... I don't really condone all the stuff that's going on in UAE, to be honest with you. I'm really not down. You know my politics. I'm not really down with that. I disagree strongly with some of the things that's going on.
Well, they're doing a genocide in Sudan, innit? And they're also helping the Zionists. They're the best friends with the Zionists. The state.
No, I completely disagree with all of that stuff.
Yeah, of course, and you're just a fan. We're not going to try to put you in that mixer in that sense, but you're just a fan. Big up, Luane. Are you there, Luane? We can't see you.
Oh, big up.
But what I would say on a United channel and to United fans is, if you look at East Manchester now, the investment that they've put in, the stadium looks great. The new ground looks great. That they've invested the money into the training ground, city and the community, everything, it looks like they've actually valued the area and they've invested into the country and the city. Whereas when I look over the road to United, it looks like the Glazers are just taking the money out.
One thing I respect you City fans is you literally speak like a proper normal Man United fan. You literally know the issues. And see, for us, man, like half the fan base don't even think the Glazers and any of us are an issue. That's the craziest part, because we've got Potato Head and Omar Barada, who was at Manchester City, and then we have another City guy, Jason Wilcox, who was at Manchester City. But everyone just wants to hold in tight because they worked under Manchester City, and it's mind blowing, bro. So fair play to you, bro, for actually mentioning the Glazers, man, because that's what the biggest issue at this football club is. But yeah, big up, man.
Wow, I speak to we did quite a bit, about and stuff. Been an issue. It's been an issue.
Yeah, it has.
You know how long I've been protesting. You've known me for a long, long time. You know how long I've been.
Yeah, definitely.
Getting to try to fight against the Glazers, but I can't fight alone. Big up to Luane. Luane, Pep's leaving. Arsenal have won the league. Congratulations to Arsenal again. I asked the question: are they worthy champions? I don't like their football, but everybody in the chat, 55% of you said yes. 45% of you said no. I think the first five months of the season, they played fantastic football and they were by far the best team. Last 4 months has been dreaded to watch them play football, really. Hating City is another thing, but I respected Pep Guardiola football. I think he changed from tiki-taka. I never respected the tiki-taka. And by the way, the tiki-taka, big up to Rants for the Raid. Big up Rants for the Raid. If Rants raiding us, big up love, man. And yeah, Spurs have got beat, people. Spurs have been beat. So it goes to the last day. Who's going down goes to the last day. It basically goes to the last day. Chelsea beat Spurs, so that means it goes to the last day. But Luane, big up to you and love, man.
Big up, guys.
Talk to me in terms of Arsenal winning the league. Talk to me in terms of big up Ineos Raid. Big up and talk to me about Pep Guardiola.
Big up, guys. Big up, Ben, Nudin, my brother.
Big up.
Right? Big up to you. In terms of Arsenal winning the league, like I said last time, I think it will be hard pressed to see a team that is more consistent than them in the past 4 years. I think they finished second 4 years in a row. So it will be far-fetched for us to sit down here and debate if they were worthy winners. They have challenged for the league 4 years in a row, no matter how we see it. So I think they deserve to win it. If you look at the way Arsenal play football, I think consuming football is down to everybody's preference, but you cannot deny that they are one of those teams that play with intensity. They are very compact. They are very cohesive unit. And what you see on the field is the direct result of what they are implementing in training. That you can tell. You cannot look at that team and tell me, yes, they are individual players that make the difference day in, day out. No, what they do is completely the result of what they're practicing every day. You can tell. And even when Odegaard went down, you can argue that, yeah, as much as Odegaard was their playmaker, but they still managed to get over that. They bring in Eze, and amid the growing pain, Eze, we can say that Eze is not fully integrated in the team, but they still get over that. When Saka went down injured, they still got over that. So when you look at the body of work that they have in the past 4 years, I think they are well worthy to win the title. When it comes to Pep and his legacy and him leaving, the debate will always be there. We can compare it in terms of the Premier League, and we can compare Pep in terms of the impact he have on football overall in the world. I think in the Premier League, he will probably go down as one of the best managers in the league. I won't go to say the best, but one of the best. I'll put him easily in my top 3, right along in the conversation with Arsene Wenger and Sir Alex Ferguson. Yes, it's true. People will talk to me about being Pep. Some people like to argue that he's a paycheck manager, but his body of work cannot be denied neither. I think as a fan, we like to run banter all the time. But if we are leveling the criticism against him, saying that he always have a blank check, we can use the same arguments against Sir Alex Ferguson, because in his tenure at Manchester United, we always managed to sign the best players. And we always managed to sign the best players. And by some whatever scheme we pull off, we don't have the books to know what happened. But we know that during the previous we know that our previous owners, John Magnia and GP McManus, hire a whole bunch of a team of investigators that turned out a whole report on Sir Alex Ferguson and his transfer dealing. So we cannot really go in detail and talk about things we don't know. But he threw his way around the league at that time. And around that time, I can argue that the league was less competitive than now, because it was essentially a 2-team league with Arsenal and United. But Pep came into a league where the managerial level went up, and the league is highly competitive. The talent pool went down. So you can say that the talent pool in terms of the players evened up, and the manager pool also kind of evened up, but he still managed to build a legacy with his football style, with everything down to recruitment. You can talk about the organization that's on top of him, but he still have to oversee the signing that they made for him. Some of those work, some of those did not work. You can even use the argument of not being a good manager against him, because he made Raheem Sterling look good. I think Raheem Sterling looked better in the CD shirt than anybody else. Their academy, year in, year out, are turning in good players, whether they end up in the first team or they end up being sold and turned for money. You cannot argue that his body of work, his style, was able to dominate the league for that long. So I just give him credit where credit is due. And also, talking from a human standpoint, I really tip my hat to him because he know who he's working for. He know what those people stand for. But despite that, he's able to stand up and speak for against injustice in the world. He's able to take a stand. And
he even talked about Sudan.
Yeah,
he talked about Sudan.
Yeah, like, I really admire that because you find less people that have so much to lose that put almost their professional career on the line to speak about injustice, and he did that. He took a stand. You cannot say the same for a lot of celebrities. We all know how this game works. We saw what happened to Mesut Ozil when he started speaking up, and we saw what's going on with Lamine Yamal when he took a stand. But Pep has always been there, and he have made it clear what he stands for, and that I really give him credit for that. His legacy is cemented. Whether we can argue whether he's a paycheck manager or not, his legacy is cemented in the Premier League. That for sure.
He's changed English football. So, he's changed English football. There are teams in the 9th tier or the 10th tier of English football who wants to play like Pep, wants to bring the ball out and play the Dutch way, the Cruyff way, the type of the Van Gaal way. And before that, it was the Dutch legends, coaches, the guy who won Holland the league title, the Euros, 88. It comes from him and the other Dutch greats. But I also look at
what cannot be denied also is his passion for the game. You can see it with the sacrifice that he might have made in his personal life. Some people just want to stay with the game, and they end up sacrificing a lot in their personal life. And frankly, I think he deserve a lot of credit.
Congratulations to Arsenal yet again. Like we said, for me, I enjoy watching them play for the first 5 months. The last 4 months, just see Tony Pulis corner FC, mate. Set piece. Ole, ole. They even got a song called Set Piece again. Ole, ole, ole. But yeah, to me, I respect Pep Guardiola. I've met him a couple of times. I used to work in a well-known cultural arts centre in Manchester. He used to come in there sometimes to catch a film or come in there just to relax. And he would just, I met him. I chatted to him. I told him he manages the wrong club, more than once. And he always laughs, when I used to tell him that. But yeah, but for his stance on the humanity of Palestinians and people in Sudan and all the atrocities that are going on in the world, he gets the most respect from me because it'd be so easy for him to be corrupted by big money and to be taking establishment. I also think it helps because he's a Catalan. He's from Catalonia, and obviously Spain during Franco's years did what they did. They carried out incredible atrocities. And what people don't know, Spain is that big. Spain is made of big regions. Spain is not a full country. They're made of regions. You got the Basque. You got the Basque in the north. You got the Catalonians. You got the Andalusians. You got so many different sides. Like Spain's like a federate country, really. So he's part of the independence. Remember, he used to wear that little pin for years in his press conferences, and that was for independence. He wanted Catalan independence. So big up to Pep. And on that one, we grant him that. I think something's coming out really soon. Tonight, again, I've seen a quote just before, and he's saying that we're going to decide to the end of the season. He might be back one more season, try to win the league, He might just think, I'll win the league one more season. But from everything that I'm hearing on the ground, the rumors that have been going around for the past 3 months in the city is that Pep's leaving.
Who do you think's coming?
Oh, Maresca already. Maresca. We talked about him a little bit before, and we're obviously giving Johnny some banter. This is Johnny, by the way. This is Luani.
Nice to meet you, Johnny.
He's a big City fan. He's a friend of mine, local lad. He's one of the City originals. He remembers the shit old days at Main Road when they were playing against Grimsby, and 35,000 of them used to sing "We're shit and we know we We're shit and we know we are. And that's what I'm being real. I used to work on a turnstile.
But this is what makes me laugh, to be honest with you guys. When people say, "Oh, we've had a bad season, we're really shit," they don't really know what shit actually is. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can go to the Championship. That is shit. You can, when you go League One, you're playing York City, you know, Grimsby, all these people. That is fucking shit, man. Do you know what I mean?
I have a question for Johnny.
Go on.
Johnny, so if Pep is started to leave, and if he does leave, the grievance of most of the people is they can dissociate the structure that's above Pep from his managerial acumen, his prowess as a manager. So if he does leave, where do you think he leaves City?
It's interesting. We were saying, I was watching a few City podcasts about this, and they were saying that Pep is great, but if you look at Khaldoon Mubarak, he is he's a really important guy, and like influentially, he even within he's a very influential guy. He's got the structure, and some people were even arguing that he might have more influence on the club even than Pep, because he's been such a good chairman. And again, bringing into the fact that he's been chairman since 2008, which was the takeover. So I don't know. I think the structure will be good. I don't think the fall off will be quite as dramatic as it was with United when Ferguson left, or even, but because the same. But the whole kind of structure that City got in under Mubarak was that we wanted to get Pep. So therefore, we got Chiqui Bergerstein, and we got Ferran Soriano, who were behind the scenes at Barcelona. And then they got Pep in. So that was the project. And now, I don't know who's behind the scenes, but I trust that the guy from Sporting Lisbon came in to bring the players in, and I just sort of think there's a pretty good structure behind that. They're invested in the club. They don't seem to. There's a number of times City have gone for players and the price has gone too high. It's been inflated. I'm thinking Alexis Sanchez here, and United went and bought them afterwards. And I actually think it was quite sensible decisions not to go for the Florian Wirtz, for example, this season. Liverpool, it seems like there's some quite sensible people in the room where, yes, they've got quite a lot of money, but no, they're not going to pay silly money for just extravagant signings because they've got the money. There is a bit of a structure behind the scenes with it all. So if Maresca comes in, I'm hopeful that he'll do well. He obviously knows the players. He's worked with quite a few of them before. He's been behind the scenes, treble season, etc. Do I think he'll be a Pep? Not really. But, I have a feeling that continuity might do well. The recruitment will probably do well. I mean, we're looking at maybe Bernardo's leaving this season. It'll be a massive loss. But if we get someone like Anderson from Forest, I can see him doing well for us. I can see him fitted in well to our system. And there's a few other things, but other than that, it'll just be tweaks around the edges in terms of the squad. It's more about getting the squad playing well together. And they are a young squad. And I think from the first half of the season to the second half, they've really improved. Like Gahey and Semenyo have been massive signings. And most time we don't really do our business in January. But this season, it really made a big impact.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I actually agree with you. In terms of you don't think it's going to be a big drop off in terms of when Maresca does come in. It's not going to be as bad as what Moyes was for Fergie, because I think what City is doing right now compared to what Man United did back all those years ago was City's actually sticking to their identity, like what Pep's actually installed into these players and into the system and stuff. And Maresca's system is literally probably the closest you'll get to Pep's system in a way. And I think Maresca and also
he's been in the room. He's been in the room.
Yeah,
he
100%.
all the different plays.
100%. And like, you know, that's what you need. And like these,
and then when after Maresca, they're gonna get company. You can't replace a legend with another legend. Maresca, if he's successful or not, company is going to be their next manager. Company will manage Manchester City in the next 3 to 5 years.
Yep. I agree, and he knows the system too, which is even like better. So like,
and he's got a statue outside.
Yeah,
he's got a statue outside the stadium.
I was at the game. I was at the Leicester City game where he scored that goal. Oh my God! What an amazing!
It was crazy, bro.
The reason I'm throwing in that question, Johnny.
Big up. I run this. Big up. He says, big up to my bro. Walala means brother. Nuruddin on the panel. He's an Arsenal fan. He said, "Free Palestine, free Lebanon."
Come on, man. Come on.
Big up and love, bro.
Big up.
Congratulations to fans celebrating like nobody. They're not sleeping in North London tonight. Nobody's sleeping. No Arsenal fans coming to work tomorrow in London. Just on
Maresca as well. Like, you know, the fact that he's worked with Lewis Hall, you know, it's scary as well, because obviously you've got Nico O'Reilly, who's been absolutely phenomenal this season. He's literally like the perfect left back you have right now, because the guy can play the midfielder, the guy can play left back, and the guy can push on forward, overlap, and help Doku or whoever it is so much. And like, it's not only Lewis Hall, like there's other players that Maresca has literally worked with, and like they all like give Maresca such huge credit. And honestly, bro, like, look, there's no one ever in this world that's going to be like Pep. Pep is going to be a big loss, like, and regardless of obviously the man management, how he speaks, how he sees football. But what Manchester City has done right now is such bravery, man, because you literally have, like, I wouldn't even get worried if you're a Man City fan, even though that you're losing, frankly, the best manager to ever exist. But you're literally having a manager come in who's literally worked alongside him. He's literally was his assistant, and he literally has the same system as him technically from Chelsea. Honestly, bro, like as hateful as it is, because obviously it's still rival at the end of the day. Like I hate City regardless, but I'm actually getting kind of worried again, because City are actually, what they're doing is very, very smart, man. Like, they're not going out there to buy, you know, to get the likes of Xabi Alonso or the likes of whoever it is out there, like, to play a different system. They're acting on their best interest of the club, because City's formation has always been that 4-3-3, that 3-2-4-1 formation, or whatever it is. And you are doing exactly what you are, literally hiring the right coach to implement that system. And then down the line, Vincent Kompany comes in, and he's going to do that as well. So look, scary times ahead if you're a Man United fan, if you're living in Manchester, because City they're not over, man. It's not over yet, man. So look, big up, bro, to your board, man, because
the reason I threw in that question is because when it comes to City, most of the fans, especially we United fans, we like to credit structures more than the coach. I know we do have PTSD because our own structures is they actually assholes, so we do that all the time. but when I think that the fact that City have a lot of money plays against Pep himself, because a lot of people cannot understand, maybe they cannot figure out, maybe Pep, by his dexterity or by his competence as a manager, is able to cover up a lot of the mistake that happened in the transfer, or maybe Carlton, with the size of the check that he cut, is able to make up for Pep's mistakes. But we don't know. It depends on what kind of fan you're asking. If you ask me, I would say that Pep is doing a lot more job than we are giving him credit for. And at the same time, the Carlton board, they also doing a lot more than just throwing more money at problems, because as much as they have signing that did not work, they've also turning players that were quality, and they are probably one of the best team in the league in getting value for the money. If you see how much they bought Reinders, if you see how much they bought Turkey, so they also have a body. Even the board have a body of work there. But in general, I think that we need to look at the system that they're using and try to emulate it on our end as much as possible because of the legacy that they have. That means they're doing something right there.
Pick up F, long time no see. Hope you well.
Yeah, all good, guys.
Johnny's
See, you
here.
got a blue muppet on there. I can see in the far corner. Why did you let him on? Should have let him.
Well,
on
you have to come and pay a tribute. I had to get a City fan to come and pay tribute to Pep Guardiola.
Pep, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's getting his disciple in Nuruddin. He's getting another one of his disciples, yeah.
Maresca. Here we go.
Yeah, another disciple. Well, no, I mean, look, you know, everyone knows that Arsenal won it this year with the most disgusting football. But they've got the best defense, you know.
No. I disagree.
Well, I think it's the most disgusting football. I hate watching them. I can't think of a team. Probably Stoke. I mean, I know we talked about the throw-ins of Stoke, but watching that team is honestly, I swear to God. I mean, I don't mind them winning. Look, someone needs to win it. You know, someone break away from the City. Glory.
Yeah, but let's put it. Let's turn the tables, Irfan. If United were winning. And they were throwing the ball in.
Yeah,
you'd be loving it.
No, I wouldn't. Trust me, I wouldn't. I hate teams like
people love to win. What are you talking about? Of course you would.
No, I admit. Look, I admit a lot of.
Johnny,
fans...
can I just say something to you?
Yeah.
We're football purists on this channel. Most of us are.
We like to see proper football.
It matters to us how you win, how you lose, and how you draw.
Okay.
As a United fan,
so I'm guessing you're not a big Leeds fan, 1970s Don Revie. You know what I mean?
Never.
No. I wouldn't have studied that team.
I'm the 94 team. That's one of the best teams Fergie ever produced. I could fight you, but would score goals after 21 passes with keeping the ball. That was
like you guys with Pete.
Bit of the dodgy devil about him, you know. They were a bit dirty when they needed to be as well. Do you know what I mean?
But they play football. We pop teams up the park, my friend. We scored some spectacular goals. We would throw the kitchen sink. It was front foot risk football. That's how we used to win leagues. Go ahead,
Irfan.
No, I'm just saying. No, Luwani, honestly, I disagree. Honestly, I've watched about 6 or 7 of their games this year, and I just can't. I mean, look, everyone will say
the first 5 months of the season, they were flying. The last 4 months, they've stunk the place out. It's been horrible
football to watch. Honestly, horrible.
I disagree, Irfan. I disagree.
Look,
when I watch Arsenal,
I'll be honest, Luwani, listen, I think you trust me. You're in the minority. Trust me, you are.
I know.
Apart from the Arsenal fans,
when I watch Arsenal, right?
No one's got a nice thing to say about this Arsenal team. No one's got a nice thing to play. Look, as I said with City, watching City with Pete De Bruyne, I used to bow and think, what football, what beautiful football. You know, I admit it's beautiful. You can't deny that, right? Watching this Arsenal team, oh my God, disgusting football. Horrible, honestly. With all those players as well, and he plays that system, but he'll say, well, I had to play dirty, had to do this kind of, whatever, disgusting, rough-ass football to win. He'll say that, because he tried all the other ways. And what was this Arteta's like 5th or 6th attempt to get it? How many times did he get close? Can someone enlighten me, please? How many times did he come close to winning it? Is it 3 times or 4 times?
Maybe
4 times he came close.
4 times, maybe 3 or 4. Yeah.
So that's what I mean. So look,
Irfan, we can argue that Arsenal lost the league against Southampton the year they were supposed to win. If you remember that game when they were flying, they were playing all front foot football, and then I think they played a game against Southampton. And in
2023,
Lavia was the man of the match, and they lost that game. Since then, Arteta just decided to change. You cannot blame a coach for trying to squeeze every single metric or analytic out of a team when he already made them difficult to beat. That was his mandate, and he did that. When I watch Arsenal play, the question I ask myself is, how is somebody going to be able to beat them? It's a team that they don't surrender initiative. They don't give you any momentum in the game. They give you some moment, but there is not a time where I watch Arsenal and I'll be like, wow, they're getting dominated. They defend well, they press well, they are the most cohesive team in the league. And sometimes you have to give them credit, because we don't look at Arsenal and we see individuality. We don't look at them and see an Mbappe or Doku or something. This is the result of a group of 11 players, 22-man squad that work hard in training, regardless of who get injured, who get brought in, and who get taken out. They keep the same cohesiveness, and you have to commend that. The fact that they challenged, they finished second 4 years in a row, is not a coincidence. They have a winning formula, and that's what I respect.
I disagree completely. Completely disagree.
Yeah, listen, talk to me about Pep Guardiola.
No, I mean, look, I really admire the guy when he started playing with like false nines, changing formation. Look, he came with tiki taka, okay, but watching this guy, I mean, look, it's very hard to say, because like I don't want to be bitter about this and say, well, look, they cheated, they got all this money from sponsorship. I don't want to go there. I want to just look at him. I could go there, but I'm not. I mean, look, they'll remind me of us when we could buy all the best players. They could buy the best players. They could pay the best wages, but you still have to have a manager that can do something with those players. And like I said, I don't like watching him this year. I didn't like him at all. But I got to give it to Pep. He's one of the greatest managers that's ever managed a football team. He's one of the greatest. You cannot deny it. I think this year they're just not fluid at all. They've been grinding results out, but there's no fluidity in the team at the moment. But hats off to Pep. I have to admit, what he did is quite exceptional. And the fact he keeps changing, etc. I mean, sometimes he used to overcook it, used to overdo it, etc. Sometimes I don't understand what he was doing. But he was a maverick manager. You cannot deny he's a maverick. But again, it's a difficult one to because there's also this shadow of like what he's done, how he's done, etc. I mean, look, people sometimes used to say the same things about Ferguson, but I did admire, with De Bruyne, that team with De Bruyne, when it was Pete De Bruyne, I have to admit, it was a beautiful team. But then again, look, when you buy someone like Haaland, peak Haaland, at some point I was thinking these guys are just going to win for the next 10, 15 years. That's what I was thinking at some point. Thankfully, that hasn't happened. But I mean, look, this year, I'm going back to you. This year has been a really bad year for football. You said this many times before. It's not been a good year. I can't think of amazing football that we've played. City have played, Arsenal played. The best game we saw by maybe 1,000% was the PSG Bayern game. That was football. That was that just showed how dross our Premier League was this year. Okay, so that's what I mean.
The last 2 seasons, the Premier League's been a dross.
Yeah, it has. It's been shocking this year. Look, I've got a lot of friends who support Arsenal, a lot of them, right? And to be honest with you, they tell me, listen, we're going to win disgustingly ugly this year. Don't blame us. We've not won it for so long. Just pray for us that we're going to win. And, so your City boys don't win. Look, at the end of the day, I'm gracious about it. At the end of the day, I want more different teams to win. I don't want teams to dominate. I want teams to play good football. Like I said, look, those 2 centre-backs. Show me a team that's got those 2 centre-backs like Saliba and Gabriel. Show me a team.
And
show
the goalkeeper as well, and the goalkeeper.
And the goalkeeper, right. Phenomenal. Show me a 3 that's as solid as that in the world. Show me one. Yeah. There isn't one. Not so, really. and like I said, Nuruddin said, the start this year has been phenomenal, right? It's been phenomenal. Look, on a personal note, if I go back to Pep, right, look, my first football match I ever went to, a professional football match, was Manchester City. My mates took me to Man City.
Here we go.
First one. Yeah. And they took me to watch Man City when John Bond was the manager. And I sat with a Platt Lane end, right, Nuruddin, right?
Yeah.
And I remember all I heard for 90 minutes was fuck. Every word was fuck from every single person. All the guys were wearing sheepskin coats, and it was F. And I was like, oh my God, I don't belong here, right? Luckily, that was my first taste of professional football. That was in the early 80s, okay? Luckily, right, I love the football stadium, but that's my thing with City. And anyone who's a Manchester-born guy like we are, we always just see this team and like City, this is quaint little club that's there. And we had the giant next door, which was Old Trafford, which was our team, yeah? Because like I said, I started supporting Man United when we won the Liverpool 77 World Cup. When I was a tiny boy, I was watching it with my parents, watching that. And so it's
we stopped
interesting
them from doing the treble. Yeah, we stopped them doing the treble.
We stopped. So it's been fascinating
winner
to
in
see.
the FA Cup final. FA Cup final. Lou Macari in the FA Cup final. We
And
stopped Liverpool. Liverpool would have been the first English team to do the treble. We stopped them. Lou Macari scored.
And those days, Nuruddin, those days were like United Fergie days and like Guardiola City days. Liverpool, it was Liverpool were like that team. They're like the Guardiola team on the Fergie. They used to just, I mean, I remember them watching them batter City every time. Every time they played City, they win 5-0, 6-0. They used to batter City all the time, okay? Those are the good old days. But like I said, I believe in sharing it. I believe people, you know, I believe that I like everyone, lots of different people's success. I don't want one thing to have, and that's what makes the Premier League very interesting. When it's competitive and the football level is good, I'm happy because I love football in that sense.
Yeah.
But with City, though, I've always had that strange because look, I don't want Johnny to think I'm sounding bitter or whatever, right? We've all got disgusting.
Not
owners,
like Wayne Rooney,
right? Yeah, no, we listen. We've all got disgusting football owners, okay? Everybody knows this. Ben knows this. Everybody knows Luan. We've got disgusting. Now, my friend just posted a thing because we're a politically you know, on the money, left-leaning channel, right? He posted a thing today about.
We're not left-leaning. We are a humanist channel. We see the human rights and dignity of everybody.
But okay, all right. We're a humanist channel, okay? I'm left-leaning, okay? Right. So, but what I'm saying is the cloud. Like I said, my friend put this post up today about the worst clubs in Britain for the politics and where they are, okay? And it was linked to Israel actually, yeah. And they give us like 5 or 6 pointers, as in why, right? As in links to Israel and etc. I'll use it as an example. Do you know which team came worst of all the Premier League football teams in the table? As in links to Israel. Do you know which one came first?
The champions, Arsenal. Let's just got
Liverpool came first. Liverpool had 6 metrics that linked to Israel. Yeah, we were fourth. In fact, I'll show it to you now on my phone. Let me just quickly show you. This blew my mind.
We're Arsenal higher than us. Arsenal better, bit most likely.
I'll show you, Nerdy. Now, hold on a second. Hold on. Right, it was a Premier League metric. I don't you're not going to see that, okay? Right, here we go. Of complicity, Premier League table of complicity in Israel's genocide and apartheid. Right, Liverpool 1, Arsenal 2, Tottenham 3, City 4. Man United 5, Chelsea 6, Crystal Palace 7, Everton 8, Fulham 9, Brighton over in 10, Burnley 11. Right? That's an official table and metrics of complicity, okay? Right? It's there. I'll show it to you, Nuruddin, so you can have a proper look.
Yeah.
And it brings it to my point about City, okay? Right? Having the most disgusting football owners of any football, even worse than the Glazers, always irked me, okay? And I did like Guardiola, but I used to think, man, what is this? So, and because Nuruddin asked me about Guardiola, but when he spoke out about Palestine, considering he's got those owners, right? I was going to say, okay, hands down, the guy, let's shake his hand. I said, at least he had the balls to do that, okay? So,
but he also said Sudan. Did you hear one of his press?
Yeah, he did. But that's what I'm saying, Nuruddin. No other manager said anything. I don't know any manager said anything. So I respect Pep for that alone. So then so the fact that he said that, I can save my hands and say I don't feel guilty showing respect because he showed a level of humanity that no other football manager has shown. Right. So that is my thing with him. Apart from what he did, that is the thing. I leave this guy with that because I was quite shocked when I saw that, to tell you the truth. I thought it'd be a yes man, but then again, people told me, no, Irfan, he's Catalan. He's not Spanish. He's Catalan.
Yeah, I was explaining before, Irfan.
That's a different thing. So anybody understands that this guy is not a typical Spanish guy. He's not from Madrid. And then you got to look at Nuruddin. You mentioned Rayo Vallecano, and what's the other team? The other Basque team. What they called?
Bilbao. Club
if you see how many Palestine flags they show, they even have more than Celtic, even more. Yeah. So do you understand, Nuruddin? So I know we talk about politics, but there are teams out there who are doing it properly, who have got something about them that defies football, and I respect them. Yeah. So if you ask me about my perfect thing, I want beautiful football, but I want fans who are with it, okay? I remember the days when I used to throw bananas at black footballers at the games. I remember those days in England, okay? Every club, Man United used to do it, every team, West Bromwich, Birmingham, used to throw bananas on the pitch when a black player used to play. So, you know, if you know the history of football, you can watch the way it's evolved. you can't take politics out because politics is always there. You saw the march this weekend with all those scumbags. Okay, so on that note, like I said, Nuruddin, my analysis my final word with Pep is he deserves a lot of respect. He did something special for City. He made him a world famous club again, so he deserves props for that. And he did play beautiful football at certain points. I didn't like it all the way, but he did. So that's my thing with him. I don't know how they're going to cope with Maresca. I think one of the reasons they drew today is because the players subconsciously, I think they felt the loss, like daddy's leaving us. Yeah, I think they did feel that. So I don't know what City fans are feeling. I don't know what you said before I came on, but he does. I have to give big props to Pep for what he's done for City. It is quite special what he's done for City.
Yeah, big up. Listen, we did a poll. Listen, we did a poll, and I'll let people come in. We did a poll. We asked, is Pep leaving because the 115 charges are incoming? The poll said 71% of you said yes, 39% of viewers, 29% of you said no. We're going to do the last topic now. The Man City and Manchester United are in competition to sign Elliot Anderson. Elliot Anderson is being a fantastic. We saw him what he did on the weekend. He's a fantastic player. I think he suits more Manchester United football than he suits Maresca, but then Pep. But Pep could stay still tonight. He gave an interview and said maybe he was hinting at saying I'll have to speak to the chairman and sit down, but I think he's leaving, and I think everybody knows that. But he might change his mind. He might get angry after Arsenal winning the league and go, no, I want to go out winning the league. You know what I mean? So he might.
So it's hang on there, so it's not confirmed then, no.
No, it's
Johnny,
not. Is it confirmed? But he's saying. But tonight he said something else, and it could be the emotion because they lost the league tonight, and it could be the emotion. But he said I'll have to sit down with my chairman and then find out. We'll get to it. But he said I've still got a contract. He's been saying that he's never said he's not leaving. He said I've got a contract. I've got a contract. He had a contract at Barcelona and he left. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But I want to ask the question, Elliot Anderson, do Manchester United now, because Pep left, do Manchester United have a chance of getting...
Okay, guys, I'm going to shoot now, but thanks so much.
Hang on, you go first, Johnny, then. You go first and you can go. Yep.
Anderson, if I was playing for Anderson in Forest and I had a chance to go to City or United... a team that's won the league 6 times out of 10 years, or a team that hasn't won anything at all, has had manager after manager after manager after manager, have bought players and they've not really worked out. Who would you go for? That's all I've got to say, guys.
Pep Guardiola, listen though, Pep Guardiola is a draw though. A lot of players signed for you.
He is a draw, but who are you going to be playing with? Do you want to play with Haaland and Doku? Do you want to play with the City, United strikers? Anyway, love you all. Blessings. Take care.
No. All right, Johnny, take care, mate. Take care. All the best. Yeah, enjoy the FA Cup win, yeah? Enjoy it.
Big up, Johnny. Go ahead, Ben.
I mean, first things first. I mean, I think Irfan was speaking about, just to come back with Irfan's comment about the Zionists, obviously with Manchester City's owner. We cannot forget about what that disgusting dickhead Avram Glazer.
Okay.
Let's just not forget about this, because the Glazer family has actually funded Israel when the genocide was actually occurring. So let's not be real, people. We have Zionist owners as much as they have Zionist owners as well. So we can't differentiate both sides in a way. They're both still equally disgusting human beings, in my opinion, because what they've done to both clubs in a way, well, mainly our club, is a disgrace. But anyways, moving on. Elliot Anderson. I mean, if you're Elliot Anderson, you are looking at, I do agree with Johnny. I do agree with Johnny. Yeah, he's looking at 2 sides. One side, obviously, Man United, who are still what fans say in this process. And then you've got Man City,
Jarvis, by the way. Go ahead.
Yeah, big up Jarvis.
Big up Jarvis,
yeah. And then you've got Manchester City, who literally leave this season. Yeah, obviously, it's not their best season, but you've got Rodri, you've got Haaland, you've got Cherky, who's been unbelievable this season. You've got that left back, what do you call him again? Nico O'Reilly. You've got Donnarumma. You've got leaders there. You've got people who've won it all, who've you know, you've still got players there who've won the treble there, like, you know, like the likes of Rodri and that, Haaland and all, and Foden and all that. You know, realistically, if you're Anderson, obviously everyone wants to play Man United, everyone wants to play for Man United, but you have to think about it for up there as well. It's all about the mindset
Can I
as
just
well.
interrupt you, Ben, a second? Can I just
Go ahead.
interrupt you? You know, you just said all those names, yeah? And I've watched City again about 6-7 times at least this year. Do you think that team played to its full potential this year?
No.
The City team?
No.
So something's not quite right, is it? This is not the City of a few years ago, is it?
No. The reason being, I mean, it's kind of strange, like, because they've brought in Kosanov, they've brought in Nico O'Reilly, and quite frankly, they've been phenomenal.
He was already in. He was from the from the youth team.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Irfan, like, you know, they've got rid of I can't remember the left back player for the treble team. I can't remember his name, anyways. And then they've got obviously John Stones has had a horrible season this season, obviously with the injuries. Ruben Diaz as well. So realistically, City are in a crisis in a way with their back four. Obviously, you've got Mateus Nunes, who's literally had to revert from being a centre midfielder to become a right back. It's kind of so realistically, their back line's completely fucked. Apart from Donnarumma, who's actually done quite well. Nurden won't speak about it because he's not really a big fan of Donnarumma, but I think Donnarumma has done well to a certain extent.
He's done well this season.
But the one thing that Pep's done this season that I've seen compared to like the treble winning season is he's actually in a way changed his system. And what I'm saying that is when De Bruyne was there, when I can't remember who the third midfielder was. People in the chat can get in the comments. You know, their midfield the whole time was meant to be Ryan Deers, Rodri, and Cherky. That was meant to be their midfield. Ryan Deers has not worked out at this at the Manchester City so far. He's been playing shit, quite frankly. And reason being, obviously, is the Premier League. Sometimes it takes a while for players to adapt from different leagues to the Premier League. So I knew instantly, like after like the 10th game of the season, that Pep had changed the system. Why? Because he's literally allowed. They've literally been exposed in the midfield because they've left Rodri hung out to dry. It reminds me of sort of like a wee bit like Ten Hag when Casemiro was literally all by himself and they had Bruno and Mason Mount or Bruno and Eriksen so far up the pitch because there was no protection. And the reason being, like previous seasons as well, Rodri always had someone beside him. And with Nico O'Reilly coming into midfield and obviously him getting introduced into the team, this is why I think over these last like 5 or 10 games with City, yes, they've been inconsistent, but they've been better off the ball because Nico O'Reilly drifts into midfield and actually helps out with Rodri. I think that's one of the main reasons why Pep hasn't won this league this season because he didn't stick to his principles in a way to this season because he's had to adapt. Obviously, with Ryan Deers not playing well, you're going to lose a wee bit of physicality as well, and also you're losing De Bruyne as well. People like we cannot forget about Kevin De Bruyne, what he's done to that Manchester City team. We don't know.
Don't you think Rodri's not the same Rodri either?
But yet again, though, Irfan, he's had a horrible injury, man.
That's what I'm saying. He doesn't look like the same player to me.
100%. It's the same with Luke Shaw. When he came back from that injury, he looked like a different player. And look, he's only been back for what 5-6 months. Like he hasn't been back for long. Yes, 100%. He doesn't look 100% confident. If I was him, I wouldn't look confident because you're worried that injury will occur again. But I think we need to wait, see how Rodri gets on next season in the first few games, and then we judge him from there. But I think it's too early to judge right now if Rodri's the reason why, or some of these City players are the reason why that Man City have won the league because they don't look the same. I just think Pep's done.
But Ben, we know why. We know why. City are in a transitional period. They're getting
100%.
They've signed in the last windows. They're bringing in, and he's tried to build another team, but he's not getting the time. One thing I will say though, if he's leaving this season, he's left Maresca with some really good players.
And
obviously, with United, we left David Moyes with an aging squad that wasn't that great. That Fergie rinsed every ounce of.
Can I go back to Ben a second on the ring? Just go back to what he said.
Yeah, go ahead.
So look, you talked about why City didn't do the business this year, but Nuruddin asked you a question about Elliot Anderson. So Is Elliot Anderson the perfect Rodri replacement for City? He's the perfect one. Is he the perfect one?
No. He's not the perfect. People need to understand this. Elliot Anderson coming to Manchester City is not a Rodri replacement. How Man City are going to set up next season is Elliot Anderson, Rodri beside him, and Cherky ahead of him. That's literally how Man City are going to set up, because you got defensively stability right there, because you're getting rid of obviously what happened this season with Manchester City with their. I mean, bro, look at Old Trafford. We literally played them off the park, and we literally won the midfield battle. Why? Because they were so wide open. Rodri was the only midfielder on that team, and we were getting through them left, right, and center. And this is why Elliot Anderson brings such class in terms of his off the ball attributes as well, because we seen the game. Did we get the game, Irfan, in the weekend against Nottingham Forest?
No, I wasn't in Manchester, but I watched it the next day, the whole game.
You see,
because my views are not like anybody else's with Elliot Anderson, but we'll continue.
But like 100. The thing is with Elliot Anderson, there's just, especially in that game we witnessed there on the weekend, Elliot Anderson, he's just so deep. He's protecting that back line in Nottingham Forest. Like, you don't really see him go up the pitch as much, and even when we have the ball. Like, I seen, I don't know what you call the other central midfielder beside him, but they were just so compact together, and at times it actually was kind of difficult. Yes, obviously. Now I'm all about the first half. The second half was more of a basketball game because it was back and forth.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
But it was at times hard to go through Nottingham Forest's midfield because they were just so compact and we couldn't really get through them. So what we did was we actually utilized the width, obviously with Ahmad and obviously Mbumo being the false nine and Dalot, obviously overlapping and stuff. Same with Luke Shaw and Cunha. Like, I just think that's one of the reasons why we sort of won that game. Obviously with Bruno as well, with his chance creation as well. But that's what I see with Elliot Anderson. Now, if you're asking me right now, would I take Elliot Anderson? I would. But when I see Elliot Anderson and Tchouaméni, for example, another player we've been looking at, I see two different profiles there. But one thing I like about the two is they're so defensively minded footballers. They're not always attacking minded. And I think that's what Manchester United has been missing over these years. We've missed deeply Paul Pogba over these years. People think that we never would miss Paul Pogba. Another player that he got so much hatred from this Man United crowd, Nemanja Matic. Everyone said, Nemanja Matic, he's done. He's gonna be shit. We're gonna be chilling without him, man. No, Nemanja Matic brought so much defensively stability to our midfield. Hence why Herrera and Pogba worked so well together, because of Matic. It was all Matic. And yes, the horrible thing was we signed him too late, far too late. But you look at our squad right now, Irfan and Luani and Nurden. There's not really many defensively minded midfielders we've got right now. They're all attacking. Mainu's probably the only closest guy that can do both, like the attacking and defensively minded, structure for a midfielder. Like, Ugarte's not really. Mason Mount, I mean, that guy's just so high up the pitch. Bruno Fernandes, I mean, fuck knows who he is these days. I don't know if he's a striker these days or a midfielder, but bro, we seriously are in big trouble right now unless we get three midfielders who are so defensively solid. Like, obviously they know their positional discipline, and most importantly, if they're comfortable on the ball, they can play it from the back. Just a bit sort of like a Rodri. Now, you're not going to get a Rodri signing, but I'm just Elliot Anderson, Tonali, Tchouaméni, them type of players. That's the players we fucking need in this squad right now. And most importantly, you need leaders, Irfan, because we're missing. We're getting rid of Casemiro. You need leaders in this squad, man. But yeah, that's my point. I don't know what you think, Irfan.
I tell you, my view is a little bit different because.
Go ahead.
Nuruddin used to talk about, because there's a lot of hype about Elliot Anderson. I didn't know much about the guy. I was late to the party watching him. And I watched him a few times. I'm not taken by the guy like everyone else is, a lot of people. But when Nuruddin read stats, I was like, wow, the stats are pretty incredible. He showed me how many interceptions he showed me a lot of his stats. I was like, wow. So this guy, maybe he's one of them guys that you don't really see unless you're watching carefully what he does. He does a lot of stuff that's actually very important in the game. But like I said, when I watched the Forest game, I was like, okay, yeah, he's solid. But I didn't see a guy. To me, I mean, I was trying to work out. So what is he? Is he 6? Is he 8? What is he? Because I was trying to think. Someone's got to play next to Kobe Mainoo next year. Somebody who is the guy that's going to do the work next to Kobe that's just sit. And when I look at them, I see Chouameni as a better guy to sit next to Kobe Mainoo than Elliot Anderson. I won't lie, because he's purely defensive. Everyone talks about this offensive nature of Elliot Anderson, all the way he whips the ball and that kind of stuff. And like I said, one thing I did see, he's an amazing athlete. You can't deny this guy's a proper athlete, okay, Elliot Anderson. But I didn't see what I want from my midfield next to Kobe. I didn't see what I want. Maybe I just don't know him well enough. I don't know. But like I said, the stats don't lie. I prefer a hardcore number. I prefer if we can find a guy like Caicedo, I take him.
It's not about the stats.
I know it's not about stats. That's what I'm saying. So when I watch him,
he is both.
An 8 and 6.
Both, Irfan.
You think you really think he's a 6? Yeah, you really think he's a 6?
No. I actually don't think there are that many 6s in football.
There's not Nuruddin. There's not. But I was going to say Nuruddin. I said if I could find a Caicedo.
But one thing I'll say about him. Go on.
You know, I was going to say if I could find a Caicedo, that's the player I want next to Kobe Mainoo or somebody like that. That's the one I want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of guy I think we need. A solid guy.
I think of all the midfielders available, he's the best, me personally. Yeah. Listen, I want to commiserate Sean. Sean, obviously, his dad's happy. His brother has been ringing him. Sean's, blocked them both. Sean, are you there? How are you feeling, obviously?
I think Sean might have been crying tonight. I think he might have been, yeah.
Commiserations. But listen, the first 5 months, they were great. They played good football. The last 4 months, they bored us to death. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, very disappointed. Disappointed in West Ham primarily because they had one job, which was to take points off Arsenal and set us up for a grand finish. But congrats to Bukayo Saka, congrats to Declan Rice, congrats to David Raya, and congrats to Arsenal's set piece coach, whoever that guy is. But it's a terrible day for football, and
it is. We agree on something. Yeah, we agree.
Yeah,
it's up to PSG to save the game.
Please,
PSG to save our season. Yeah,
please, man.
So go on, Luwani. You give us your view on.
One second. We're gonna come back to Luwani. I need to ask Sean because Sean's not been on. Pep Guardiola leaving. Do you think Manchester United might have a chance now getting Elliot Anderson from Nottingham Forest? Rating?
Yeah, I mean, I think we always had a chance to get Anderson. And I think even without Pep, I think the Man City infrastructure, is very well oiled and they're able to sign whoever they want. I like Anderson. I like Anderson primarily as a player to improve the quality of the squad. In my honest opinion, out of 3 midfield slots, 2 are fixed, Bruno and Kobe. So I'm looking for 2 types of midfielders. One, a third, somebody to pair with Kobe Mainoo. And for me, that's either Tonali, Baleba, or Chouameni. Those are my options to pair with Kobe Mainoo. And the second midfielder I'm looking for is somebody to keep Bruno Fernandes and Kobe Mainoo honest. And that's Elliot Anderson. But the problem is that person, the second midfielder, has to be content being a squad player. Because more often than not, Bruno is going to start. And more often than not, Kobe Mainoo should start. So I don't know if Anderson is willing to come and be a part of the squad at United. I'm sure he would accept that role at City, but I don't know if he would accept the same kind of role at United. So I think for me, Anderson is a wonderful player, nice to have, but I don't see him as the person to pair Kobe Mainoo with. I see him as the person to either replace Kobe Mainoo or replace Bruno Fernandes. Somebody else has to be next to Kobe, and for that position, it's either Tonali, Baleba, or Chouameni.
Minority.
Yes.
Go ahead, Luwani. Luwani, Anderson, do you rate him? Do you think we've got more chance of getting him now?
When it comes to Anderson, I do rate him as a competent Premier League midfielder, but I'm not sure if he have the X factor, and I'm not sure how he will balance our midfield playing next to Kobe Mainoo. The question of him coming to us, I think, or going to City depend largely on his personal ambition. If he's trying to further his career or further his brand. City is an organization in which he can go and easily be surplus to requirement. You can go ask Reinders. He know what's going on there. Or we know that City is well run, but he can be surplus to requirement. He can also choose to come to us where the organization is in shambles or we have some issue going on top, but his place is already almost carved in terms of what we need because Casemiro is leaving. So it's up to him to sit down with his entourage, maybe block out the noise, the white noise from the press, the media, the whole hype, and listen to his inner cycle. Or at the end of the day, he's going to have to sit down in the dark room, put his head in his hand, and make a decision himself as a man, if he's trying to challenge himself or if he's vying for something else. But in general, I think that not necessarily that we're better fit for him, but when he comes to us, he have a chance to prove something. So his ceiling might be higher in terms of what he can give us than if he goes to City, where he can be expendable depending on what he have as a competition. That's my take on Elliot Anderson. But now when it comes to Pep, Irfan brought up the fact that is he the City team that's kind of underperforming this year or something. I'll say that I don't think it's that. I think that the league has just caught up with the type of football that they've been playing. And I think it happened a few years ago during the final of the Champions League when Tuchel beat Pep. I think that kind of scarred him for life. And you think City now have to change the way they play football. The City we know is the City that the false nine is the go-to for them. But now we look at the City that's stretching team and trying to emphasize wing play. So even the two managers that came straight out of Pep's factory in terms of Arteta and Maresca are not playing anywhere like him. Maresca can adapt to any style, and he showed it the way he beat PSG at the World Club Cup, and we see that we all know how Arteta played. So I think City is a team that is soul searching right now. They have to recalibrate, and they have to change the way Pep have to change the way he sees football, and that might be a factor in why he's leaving, because I don't think he have anything better than a plan A, and Pep is too prideful to put the outcome of a game on the talent of his players. He wants his system to be king. He wants his system to be key, and I think he have exhausted his his brain thought kind of. That's why I think he's leaving.
I think as well, by the way, just to comment on that, like, you know, I think it's really like it's kind of difficult right now for Anderson. Like, I know a lot of the fan base are very split, but I think like the biggest, like our fans said, who is going to be the player who's going to be playing alongside Kobe Minu in that midfield, you know, and that's a really harsh one because realistically, like Carrick's system, Ten Hag's system, Amorim's system, they've all played a two-man midfield. Like, and we wouldn't be having this issue right now if we just reverted back to, you know, what all those modern day football clubs are doing right now, and they're playing a three-man midfield, just like Arsenal there now, who are now Premier League champions. They're playing a three-man midfield. So I just think we wouldn't be having this issue right now in terms of like whether we want to sign Elliot Anderson, whether we want to sign Tchouaméni or Tonali, if we just go for a three-man midfield, man. And, you know, that's just on Carrick, that's on Ruben Amorim, that's on Ten Hag. But I think that's what the club's identity is they want Man United's identity to be, okay, Roy Keane and Paul Scholes were dominant in that midfield, like a double pivot. You know, they want like Man United to be the exact same as what Fergie's team was back then with the two double pivot, where I just think football's changed now. I don't think, in my opinion, you can win a major...
I don't think that's a fair or accurate description of what's
I actually agree with Ben.
Yeah.
I've not seen a team that has got just playing 110, winning no league, especially at Old Trafford. Our pitch
you need a specialist.
Our pitch is too big to be playing two in midfield. We'll get bopped. Even if we get Alex Scott and Elliot Anderson next season, we can still get bopped because the amount of spaces that we leave, and
Spaces,
Bruno's
crazy.
in positional discipline.
So
But don't worry,
nobody can solve
we got
the
a Bruno trophy. That's what we won this
Bruno.
season. So yeah, so don't worry.
nobody can convince you guys otherwise regarding Bruno. So I'm not gonna try, even on this call. But all I want to say is that my read of the tactical approach is different. I don't see two quote unquote holding midfielders. I see two very dynamic midfielders in Casemiro and Kobe Mino. Sometimes Mino is the deeper of the two. Sometimes Casemiro is the deeper of the two. But the both of them, are fairly advanced in terms of how they play. There's nobody sitting back. I think football.
He's never going to play. Bruno Fernandes determines what we play, who we play.
I cannot again. I don't want to touch the Bruno conversation, right? Because it's not worth it. But we're never going to see eye to eye on Bruno. People are entitled to their different opinions.
100%. Like even if Sean as well. Like if obviously Bruno's played well this season in terms of his assists and stuff, why not let Carrick say, Bruno, hang on a sec. Sesko's struggling this season. Xerxes struggling this season. Why don't you be our false nine and say we bring Kobe Minu, we bring say Elliot Anderson, we bring a Tchouaméni in the midfield. So that's a midfield three. Then you got Bruno as a.
I think
because right now, Sean, we're playing Brian and Bremo as a striker. We're playing Brian.
I think playing Bruno anywhere else but this number 10 position is a waste of Bruno's abilities and a waste of everybody else's time. Again, we're not going to agree, right? So let's not go down the rabbit hole.
But then did he not play really well though? But did he not really play? Bruno was man of the match against that City team in the FA Cup final, and where did he play? And he played in the false nine. He was unbelievable.
That FA Cup final against Man City was one of the worst. The FA Cup final against Man City was one of the worst United team performances we've seen in a long time, even though we won the game. My opinion is that the best position for Bruno Fernandes is the position that he's currently playing, which is as a free roaming attacking number 10 that has the freedom to roam around the pitch. In that position, Bruno scores a lot of goals and he creates a lot of chances for the team. I think the team is better with Bruno in it, and I'm not really interested in convincing people that don't like Bruno why he should. So in my opinion, the way forward is to find two types of midfielders. Like I said before, Bruno and Kobe Mino are in my starting 11, starting midfield three. Bruno and Kobe are locked in. What we need to do is sign somebody to partner Kobe Mino. And on that list, for me, it's either Tonali, in order of priority for me, Tonali, Tchouaméni, Baleba to be next to Kobe Mino. And then we can bring in somebody else to keep Bruno honest. So on the day that Bruno is frustrating everybody, I would love Elliot Anderson to be an option in our team to play as our eights instead of Bruno, or to play next to Tchouaméni or next to Tonali instead of Kobe Mino. I don't see a world in which Anderson plays with Bruno and Kobe, and I don't think it makes sense to think of a future without Bruno in our team. I just don't see that happening. So I'm looking for midfield depth, one starting DM to be next to Kobe, and one very solid Premier League proven quality midfielder to replace Bruno when we need freshness in the squad. Bruno needs to play exactly where he's playing, and I'm sure if you ask Benjamin Sesko or Xerxes or Mbeumo, we could have scored 7 goals against Nottingham Forest. We could have scored 7. Xerxes, all the complaints about strikers not getting fed, all of that to me got proved as a lie against Nottingham Forest because Bruno was creating chances for fun. Xerxes had, I think, 2 1-on-1s. Mbeumo had 3 or 2 1-on-1s. Clear-cut chances where they could have scored. And so we have an attacking midfielder that is creating chances for our strikers. Somehow, that's not making people happy. No. It's
that nothing was on. Let me finish.
Let's do it now. You cut me off now, right? So let me finish and then I'll drop. Let me finish and I'll drop. What I want to make clear here is we disagree, right? We disagree on how to. So don't call me giddy, so that I don't have to use words, adjectives, similar adjectives on my own end to describe you, right? And so we disagree on the Bruno thing. It's fine. We don't have to have the same opinion, right? This is not North Korea.
I tried to put a context on the game.
There's no context now. There's no context that should be put there. We just disagree.
There was nothing on the game. Nothing for us to save. Manchester United, we're gonna get Champions League. anyway, regardless of what happened in that game. And it became a more of a free-flow game.
Exhibition match,
both teams wanted to win. Yeah, it was no pressure on it.
Yeah, I understand. It's heads you're right, tails I'm wrong. I understand. All roads lead to the same conclusion that Bruno is not as good as many of us think he is. That's fine. So we're never going to agree on that front, and that's why I don't want to go down the road. I'm just saying that my own United that I envision, the United that I would like to. I understand, but two people can look at the same context and come to different conclusions. So let's not go down. That's why I don't want to go down the Bruno path. Different conclusions. We disagree.
That's fair.
Sean, I just want to ask something about Bruno really quick, right? When you talk about Bruno and his contribution to the team in terms of assists, right? We just saw a team like Arsenal that won the league. And I'm looking here, it looked like they score about 69 goals. And we score about 66. Three goal different, right? But they concede about 26, and we conceded about 50 goals. The point I'm trying to make here is not about the chances that are created on the other hand. If there is somebody that's moving in a certain way that disturbs the team structurally, which have been proven, we brought that up many times here. Don't you think that we lack that balance? And we can also point that out that what he provides in terms of assists cannot compensate for our structural misfortunes.
I disagree, Luani. Long story short, I just disagree that Bruno is in any way, shape, or form a liability to United team. I don't see that.
Okay. So you're gonna play deaf, dumb, and blind? No problem. Big up Jarvis, how you doing? I hope you're well.
I mean, that's being deaf and dumb and blind is better than being.
Your eyes gonna lie to you. If you're telling us now because he's got the assist record or whatever he has, if you're telling us that you don't see that Bruno Fernandes for large parts of this season was responsible for Manchester United conceding 7 to 8 goals when he was playing in a deep position.
I mean, I could match your energy now, right? I could easily match your energy and call your analysis stupid, right?
Hang on, Sean.
I've listened to you.
No. I'll disrupt it because you're saying I'm deaf, dumb, and blind, and I try to be clear. No, but then I could easily call you stupid as well. Now I could. What facts are there? Like it's a subjective. You guys are coming up with it. It's a ridiculous and tortured explanation by retarded people, right? Who insist that the best player in the team is actually the one causing our problems. Right? So it's kind of like No, I mean, so that's why I said that's why I said Nuruddin, let's agree to disagree. But when you start throwing around adjectives, trying to qualify my opinion as less valid than somebody else's, then that's what I have a problem with. Let's give our opinions. Since we're all football fans doing armchair analysis on the internet, let's not pretend to be coaches or anything like that. Let's just give our opinions.
Guys, just want to say this really quick, right?
Come on here, Sean.
The past 2 years. Wait. One at a time, please. One at a time.
The past 2 years, right? We finished with a goal difference of minus. Last year it was minus.
And it's Bruno's fault.
No, I'm not saying it's Bruno. I'm not saying it's Bruno. I'm just saying that Bruno played 90 minutes of each game. Okay.
Yes.
I can point now and say that the main difference, what changed our fortune this year, and I might be subjective, is the fact that Carrick brought in a player, Tenny, that have 0 minutes on the Amorim and make him a 90-minute player in Kobe Mino. That changed our fortune more than any numbers that Bruno can put on the ball.
Wasn't Kobe a 90-minute player under Ten Hag? I mean, when we're conceding goals under Ten Hag, wasn't Kobe playing a lot of games? What are we talking about now, right?
So was Bruno. So
was Bruno, yes.
Exactly.
But I'm just saying that I think there are more, from my perspective, more structural team problems that lead to our conceding many goals. It just doesn't make sense to me to put it on Bruno. But again, like I said, I never wanted to go down this road. I never wanted to have the Bruno conversation. And I tried to make it clear that I don't want to talk about Bruno because I think the thing is weird.
Sean, listen.
Let's talk about football.
Sean, listen, you're entitled to your opinion. It's your opinion. You're entitled to it.
Am I? I'm apparently not now. Apparently not because for me to have my opinion, I must be blind.
Agreed with us and said the Bruno needs to be stopped. With the evidence is there, we've got the results.
And I just said
he needs to be subbed. He can't be Mr. Manchester United. And
how is that a contradiction?
He needs to be moved on.
How is that a contradiction? Bruno is the best player. Bruno is the best player in our squad. He's the best player in our team, in my opinion. He's the best player in our team.
Do you know what you sound like? You sound like with the Arsenal fans who loved Ozil and who loved Aubameyang. Arsenal now just won a Premier League now, so there you go, man.
Everyone on the team.
Let's see.
I want us to have different opinions. That's fine.
Trust me, we have.
I just don't want anybody to say that my opinion is because I'm blind or because I'm deaf and dumb.
You have been on this channel, Sean, and you have agreed with us when it comes to Bruno. You have agreed with us and said,
I've agreed with certain things about Bruno. Yes, certain things about Bruno.
Okay, no problem. Let me just bring Jarvis in because he's waiting patient. Jarvis, how you doing? Obviously, we've not spoken since we had the Pep's leaving. Even though tonight he's come out and maybe he might be reneging, it might be emotion, but he might be reneging on his decision.
You're gonna drop off. I'll be right back.
He said on his decision that he'll sit down with the chairman and see what happens. So he's been saying, I've got a contract, but tonight it could be the emotion after feeling that he's lost the league, and City fans were singing one more year as he walked off the pitch. So we'll see what happens. But the other question was Elliot Anderson. Obviously, Arsenal have won the league. I personally believe I will always choose to win the league the Manchester United way. Manchester United are front foot attacking football. That's our tradition. That's our history. That's always been. I have never watched us win a league and go, we were boring. Never. One thing I can never say about Fergie's teams that we were boring to watch, right? And Irfan can tell me about the 70s and 80s, and you can as well from the 80s, that United were ever boring to watch. You can never really truly say that you turn on a Manchester United game because we always played with wing play. We always played risk football. And it's funny, the only coach that can do that now is the Riola, but we're giving the job to Carrick, and that's another thing anyway, another argument. But Pep Guardiola, do we have a shot at Anderson? What do you think to all this? And Arsenal winning the league, how have you seen it all? Everybody mute up.
It's a fair question, and everybody's talking about Anderson. And first of all, I just want to say big up to Ben and Irf and Lawani and the legend himself, Nurdin, and the rest of you guys in the chat. And I hope you have all smashed a like for the show and the great debate, especially Sean coming in with his own unpopular opinion. But that's okay. That's why we are here.
He's entitled to it.
Yeah. So I'm glad that he speaks his mind. When it comes to Anderson, I think we are getting too set on one player. I don't like it when we are too set on one player because then the savior comes in and the pressure is on. I remember Pogba. I don't know if you remember when Pogba came in. The pressure was immense. I don't want that. I want us to be more casual. Maybe we get him, maybe we don't. If we don't get him, okay, then we find another one because there are so many good midfielders out there, Nerdy.
We need
so many.
Jarvis, we're just saying he's the best out there in the Premier League at this moment in time. But we need three. We don't just need him to carry on.
Who knows? Maybe it's not the best for Man United. I
That's what I said, Jarvis. That's what I said.
Yeah. So that's just my point. I'm set on Sangare, the RC Lens player. We haven't been linked to him once, and he's been incredible this season. So there are many good footballers out there, and we do this all the time. Frankie de Jong, for example. We became obsessed by one player. Every player we were bringing in, is he as good as Frankie de Jong? Do we have the Frankie de Jong qualities? Blah blah blah. I don't like it. I want us to be thorough. I want us to make the right choice. I know we need three players, but no one has spoken about the number 10 position. Are we going to play Bruno for 70 games next season? He's not getting any younger. Why aren't we trying to sign the number 10?
You should have asked Sean that question. You should have asked Sean that question.
Yeah,
because I believe we don't need a number 10. We need to have 3 midfielders, one that's more attacking. But carry on.
Yeah, okay, that's a fair point, but I don't see Carrick, changing up his 4-2-3-1 and playing a 4-3-3 formation or something whenever Bruno is not around. So what are we going to do? And we only have 2 left wingers, so the option is playing Cunha in the 10. So then we have to play with a set number 10 and a set left winger every game. Bruno is out, and God forbid if Bruno gets an injury. He's never injured. Let's say he's get injured for 2 months. So we have 1 number 10 and 1 left winger then. And we have a hell of a lot of midfielders because we put all our eggs in one basket, signing a lot of midfielders. I don't see the balance in the squad right now. I think we are in troubles. We talk about midfielders, we talk about the fullbacks, we talk about second striker. We need so many signings in this. And for me, I might be more happy if we sign versatile players who can play in several positions, because I think it's more important for the squad. I know it's a chance next season because City is in turmoil. Same goes with Liverpool. Arsenal. This Arsenal team is not a good team, and this is not me being salty, but let me just say one thing: when it comes to this Arsenal team, they won't be remembered. How many Arsenal players will be on the Premier League side of the season? How many has been outstanding this season? Okay, it's Saliba and Gabriel, the 2 centre backs. That's it.
But Raya as well.
Maybe Raya. So they will have 3 players that's cemented in the Premier League team of the season. And again, as I said, I made this point the other day. Everybody remembers France and Zidane in '98. Everybody remembers when Zidane won the Euros, and even Henry and those players came in 2000. Everybody remembers Brazil and R9, Ronaldo with that Brazilian team in 2002, and Rivaldo and Ronaldinho and all of them. But no one can name one player on that Greece team, the Greece team that won the Euros of 2004. And there's a reason for it. Because football is not just about winning. It's the way you play. It matters. So boring football might get you results, but it rarely gets remembered. And this is the thing that Arsenal have to live with. So that's just me. It's not being salty. It's just they need to, do better.
We can do that though, right? We remember the All-Star Brazil team, and what people used to say about, I think, Scolari, I think, is that if he didn't have that All-Star team, would he have won the World Cup or something? We can take that criticism and level that against them. The whole concept of team is having 11 players that perform to the best of their ability. When we look at the team of Bordeaux Glimt, does anybody strike us on Bordeaux Glimt as a superstar? No. They all play with each other, and it's the same concept. Now we're talking about Arsenal, and we try to tone down that. And that's something I just don't agree with, because I've seen, I agree in the concept of team. I don't agree in the concept of individuality. What I will remember when I watch this Arsenal team is that they don't surrender. They don't give you anything. They don't give you any momentum. They do not give you the ball. You have to take it from them. And no matter how they use it, yes, they don't have scintillating players that can hit the ball in the corner like Cunha does for us, or individual moment of brilliance. But they have some things that are intangible, that they have things that you want to show in a football academy to kids, that they play a football a certain way, and you want that kids to see that. That's very important. When we, even in that concept, when we talk about Bruno as a player, right? And people were leveling criticism at Odegaard. And I always say, I would choose Odegaard over Bruno at any time. They say Odegaard is boring, he recycled the ball. But Odegaard might just have won them the league. When that change came in, when he got that ball in that box, and he showed patience, he delayed the ball, delayed, and picked the right pass to Trossard. That might have just won them the league. And that is the kind of thing that you cannot rush those kind of things. And that's why I'm saying you have a player like Bruno in your mix. I'm not sure if you'll be able to win something, because what you gain on one end, you will lose it on the other hand when he surrenders the ball or he tries too much. But in terms of Arsenal, I disagree. I think they are worthy winners, and they've been knocking on that door for 4 years. You have to give them some level of credit.
Nope.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, Luani.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not having it. No.
I'm sorry, Luani. If you want to watch dreaded shit football, then I might as well put on a better film. I'm into cinema. I'm into cinema. I'd rather watch a compelling sci-fi.
You can give credit to their board because they actually got rid of.
When I watch football, I like to be entertained. I like football, and the only reason why I support Manchester United is because of that. I've not had it for 14 years in counting, but that is what football is to me. That's what I grew up. That's what I was brought up on.
I mean, look at the team.
United were nowhere near a league title, but United used to entertain in the 80s and 70s. United were entertaining team
everywhere. They're every year.
United were never dull.
Yeah, we did. You know, we had Steve Copper, we had Gordon Hill,
we had
Adewale, man.
I don't blame Shaw.
Luani is rejoicing in efficiency.
Nigerian, most of them love Bruno.
Winning.
I feel like they
necessary. Yeah.
1 second, please. Let me just get the super chat. Big up to Adewale says, I don't blame Shaw. In the group chat full of Nigerians, most of them love Bruno. I feel like they believe because he gets GA and our best player and how they see football, but still it's wrong for Bruno. Hurts the team as much as he helps the team.
Yeah,
well,
I disagree. I just disagree.
Anyway. I have 2 minutes.
We're just last thoughts, right? I need to drop real quick. Just my 2 cents on Bruno. Finally, I disagree. I think Bruno is one of our best players, and guess who else thinks so? Every single Premier League player that you ask who the best player is in the league, they all tell you is Bruno. I mean, and they could all be lying, right? All the Cole Palmer, Kevin De Bruyne himself, all the other midfielders and the Premier League players who raised Bruno, they could all be lying or they could all be wrong and deceiving themselves. But I think if you ask Arsenal fans themselves, or if you ask Odegaard himself, who is better, you or Bruno? They will tell you Bruno Fernandes. He will tell you Bruno Fernandes. So I mean, I like us having quality players in our team. Bruno Fernandes is a quality player. I prefer we add more quality players to the team than subtracting. But big up, guys. It's a terrible day for football today.
Big up, Sean. Like I said, man, like, you know,
football is about opinion at the end of the day. But just because other fans have said so, my eyes don't lie to me. I don't care what the world says.
Whose eyes lying? Whose eyes are lying?
No.
Is it my eyes that are lying? Is it Jarvis's eyes that are lying?
Listen. So let me finish. You said a piece. I didn't interrupt you. Let's calm down first. I know you're feeling emotional. I know that you're getting a lot of stick from Arsenal fans, especially in your family. I've been getting them. My cousins have all been all over the phone. And that's why I've been replying back to while I'm doing the show. But anyway, I'll say this. Bruno Fernandes, Manchester United are celebrating because we've got nothing to celebrate as a football club. We're celebrating his GA. We're celebrating the assist and all of this. That's what we're celebrating. And that, to me, tells me everything you need to know about the football club. Because if you say about individual sport, go and watch boxing, go and watch golf, go and watch tennis. I'm not here. And the reason why Bruno Fernandes, and I say it, and I'll say it till the cows come home, and if you played football, and if you watch football for years, you will understand what I'm going to say. Bruno Fernandes is the guy we give the ball to. We play through him. I said it 2 years ago on this channel. I said at that time, we play through Bruno and Rashford, and when both of them are not having a good game, then our team is dire straits. And I said, when you have Manchester United history, you always had 5 or 6 players. Irfan can tell you, Jarvis can tell you. We used to have Brian Robson. Brian Robson was an incredible footballer.
He was a one-person team, you know. I've never seen a player have dominated for Man United like him.
Yeah, exactly. But we would play through him, and he had lots of different injuries. He actually, unlike Bruno, he used to get injured a lot, right?
Always injured. Yeah.
The big thing is that Manchester United give the ball to Bruno. We don't play through. We don't play through the fullbacks. We don't play through any of the midfielders. We play through him. And what I always said is, you're never gonna win big trophies playing through one player. You're going to win big trophies, and the reason why Beckham and them never broke those stats, Scholes and Giggs and Ronaldo and Rooney, is because we play through 6 or 7 players. We play through a spine, an incredible goalkeeper, an amazing centre half, an amazing central midfielder, dominant centre midfielder, a dominant striker, and then a guy named Betem behind it, like the 4-4-2 that we used to play. So we play through different players because it's a team game. You've got 10 outfield players, and Manchester United will have 6 or 7 players that they play the game to. So if 2 of them are off it, the rest of the forward. And even at times, Fergie was the first one to change English football and have actually 4 strikers. He used to let 2 of them play for 50-something minutes, 60 minutes. They're not doing it. The other 2 came on. So
we always have 4. We always have 4.
Yeah, we used to play through different. But with this team and this Bruno, and we found ourselves, it's because we play through him. Every player on the football pitch gives the ball to Bruno. Every player does. It's exactly the same thing I always said about when we have Van Nistelrooy. We only won 1 league title. Why? Why?
So, Nerdy, let me ask a question.
Let me just finish the point. We won because the whole team worked to get the ball to Van Nistelrooy to score. And the rest of the team did not take any responsibility to do something. Everybody's looking for Van Nistelrooy. No, we needed different players to combine, and we looked 100 million times better play when we had Louis Saha and Rooney, and had Rooney and Tevez. You know, when we had those type of players, Manchester United are better and more balanced. With Bruno Fernandes, he's going to be the assist guy because we give the ball to him. Everybody picks up the ball, they look up, they give the ball to Bruno. And he's the only guy who's got a free role in Manchester United. No other player has the free role. He has the free role. And he's had it since we signed him. He's never been tied to a position other than the last 6 months or how many months this season where, what's his name, put him a bit deeper. You know what I mean? Amarim put him a bit deeper. But he hasn't been tied because that is what we're talking about. We never want to sit here and how weird is it if we start hating at our own player? I wanted him to break the record. Mass reaction the other day was, big up for Bruno. Bruno equals the record. I would want him to get joy, but it's not individual. It's not about individual awards. It's about a team. And Roy Keane, everything he says was 100% spot on. Yeah. We've become obsessed. Like last season, we became obsessed with the Europa League. Bruno was in the Europa League team. What the fuck did he do? He was in the other Europa League team. What the fuck did he do? He was in the other Europa League team that went to the semi-final. What did he fucking do? The way that they're building him up like to be, he's one in a generation kind of play. He's not that guy. He's a very good player, but when you've got all of the team playing to your strength, to play to get you into positions for you to assist, you're going to do it. The same thing about Alan Shearer and Sutton when they won the league at Blackburn. The whole of that Blackburn team worked to what? Get the ball in the box to Sutton and Shearer. I don't like that. We just feed football differently. I do not rely on individual players to do all that. And I'm always saying we need 5 to 6 players in the team who have the capability to be able to, for us, to be able to play. Because if 2 of them are off it, at least another 3 or 4 of them might be on it. But that's my point. Go ahead, Irfan.
Yeah, go ahead, Irfan.
I was going to say, Nuruddin, I mean, doesn't Sean understand that point? It's the point about the greater good, about not putting all your eggs in one basket. It's a very simple point. I don't get it. Does he disagree with you? I'm confused by this. I know he loved Bruno, but I'm confused because you're just talking sense. You can't rely on one guy and just play through one guy all the time. It's a very simple point. I don't get it. I'm confused.
Yeah.
Does he not get it? No?
No,
Sean,
man,
does he not understand? Does he not? I mean, is he talking like all the rest of the Man United fans?
I'm not gonna lie to
you.
Irfan, listen, because of the owners, because how dysfunctional our fan base is.
I agree.
To everything, we've got a cult. Bruno's got a cult. There is a cult following. He has a cult following. And last season, they weren't talking to this shit, but all of a sudden, he's the greatest player we've ever seen in our lives. I don't think he is. No. I genuinely don't think he is. No, I'm happy for him. And for me, I'm not going to lie to you, there's a debate. People are like, oh, you couldn't debate.
Thank you.
When you create goals from set
That's
pieces,
super chat right there. Thank you.
When you create goals from set pieces, that's something. That's different. When you create goals from open play, that means you are opening teams up and you're that guy. And say what you want from Thierry Henry. Thierry Henry and Kevin De Bruyne, it wasn't just Kevin De Bruyne, it was also David Silva. It was also Bernardo Silva and David Silva. They had players who could unlock you anytime. They have Fernandinho, who are the pass. They have all the different things. But let me just get these super chats and then I'll let you guys come in. Because if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. No problem. I'm happy to be wrong. We can't win a league with Bruno. No, we can't win a league because not just because of Bruno, because of the owners as well. We have to be honest with ourselves. Our club is not set up to win leagues. Our club is set up to get Champions League, and if not, just to make profit. That's what Ineos say, and that's what the Glazers say. They're all, but it's not just Bruno; it's the ownership as well. We can't win a league with Bruno again because he gets GA and not even mean anything. He leaves that midfield wide open. We really need to go 3-man midfield and forget playing in the middle.
Facts. Yeah.
I heard that because the way Old Trafford is, and some of you've been to the pitch is huge, and we get absolutely boxed. Even if you got two incredible combative midfielders, you are still gonna, because they can't cover the ground. When KDB broke their assist record, they didn't win the league. Bruno created the most chances the last 4 seasons. We finished 8th, 15th, 3rd. Our fans status fallen so bad that we can't wait till Bruno leaves United. Listen, and then it is what it is.
Just
go ahead.
No, just on that super chat
Let just Ben come in and then let you alone. Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, big up, Matt. Like, it's like I think Jarvis obviously pointed it out earlier on that we need to be looking at number 10s. We're kind of shorting that. What happens if Bruno gets injured? Like, what we need to be building on is just players for Man United instead of players for Carrick's system. Yes, Carrick's our manager, 100%. But like I said, we're still if we're going to be buying players for Carrick, then we're going back to our old ways where we're buying players for the wrong systems, the wrong like this and that and that. I just think what we need to do is I can name you so many squads that have been successful in the past, the likes of obviously Real Madrid to kick us off. Like you got Cruz, you got Modric, Casemiro. That's 3 balanced midfielders. You've got Xavi, the classic 3-man midfield for Barcelona. Xavi, Busquets, Iniesta. Then you've got the likes of Bayern Munich. You've got Schweinsteiger. You've got what do you call that Spanish brother? Martinez. You got Mateus. Is it Mateus? You got Kimmich. These players, none of these players are realistically number 10s. And then I just think the whole number 10 saga it's gone away from football now, and I think the only way you're going to succeed with a double pivot and a number 10 is if you have a specialist number 10. And I just don't think, even outside of Man United as well, there's a team out there that has a specialist number 10 that can go on and win major trophies. I just think right now, if we just revert, yes, I know Carrick's never going to change it. I know that. But this is why, I'm just saying, I would, to reply back to Sean, let's see what Carrick can do, because my energy is not realistically on Bruno as of right now, because Carrick's sticking to his double pivot system as we've been doing in the last decade. But let's see what he brings this season. Yes, I do think we're going to get overrun, but that's just my opinion. I think we can win leagues or win trophies with a double pivot? No. I don't think so. We've been exposed this entire time. I just think we just need to be buying players that can do the 8 role and the 6 role. There's no such thing as a player that can only do a 6 role. There's no such thing as a player that can only do the 8 role. And the 10 role is it's out of the equation now. In modern day football, there's no such thing. All midfielders can be a 6 and an 8 together. You can coach that. And that's the most important thing. Do you think Carrick's going to do it? No. I just think we just need to stay in there. I think any of us have to recruit well this summer in terms of the midfielders, the wingers, the fullbacks. That's it. If we buy a number 10, it's good night Vienna. Even if Bruno leaves, it's good night Vienna. We cannot be buying any more number 10s going forward. And that's just my comment. But bro, I've just told you all so many fucking teams excuse my language, so many teams, even Manchester City, Arsenal, PSG as well, you know, they have literally been successful with a three-man midfield. I just don't understand the fan base that they keep thinking that a three-man midfield isn't going to change everything. It realistically will. It will. Right now, obviously, our chances of winning a league title or Champions League title is literally by 5% right now. But I promise you, if we had a manager that plays a three-man midfield, that those chances, that percentage will go from 5% to about 35 to 40%. Why? Because stability is not an issue at all. The back line, the defense obviously is your weakest point because the defense is so highly concerned about the midfield, what they're doing off the ball. That's why our midfield was struggling last season under Ruben Amorim, because Bruno and Casemiro weren't doing the fucking job. So, like I said, I just think, and Kirk's done okay with it so far. Sometimes we've been open, but it just frustrates me, man, because the fan base just don't see it, man. And like, obviously, you Nurden, you Luani, you know, and you Jarvis, you Irfan, like, you know, you can all see that our midfield has been a big problem with this number 10 double pivot bullshit. And if we, it's just unfortunate, man, because yes, Carrick's done well, man, but I just think Carrick's gonna get found out, man, if he's gonna trust on this 4-4-2 Fergie type system bullshit. I just don't think the Fergie system's gone now. The 4-4-2 does not work in modern day football, and it will prove.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. For Fergie, in the last so many years, adapted and played 4-3-3.
Yeah, 100%. Yes. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he did.
We were getting smashed in Europe. We were getting smashed.
My card doesn't believe that. My card doesn't believe that, though. So that's the issue there.
Listen, at the end of the day, when are we going to let one player like dictate how much to see we're going to do it? But
the super chats that
Adewale.
I wanted to bring it up last time. When we put Bruno in the conversation that maybe he does not belong, right? We said that he matched the assists of Thierry Henry and Kevin De Bruyne for a single season, 20 assists. But what they don't tell you is that along with those 20 assists, Kevin De Bruyne scored 16 goals. And along with those 20 assists, Thierry Henry scored 24 goals. But yet, even with that stat, Kevin De Bruyne was not able to win the league for City. They lost it to Liverpool, to a front three of Sadio, Mane, and Firmino, where their stats were spread around. And to
a three behind them.
And the three behind them, thank you. A midfield of Gini Wijnaldum, the Senegalese guy, I forgot his name, Oxlade-Chamberlain, and the third, Henderson, John Lehman. Okay. Now, when we look at Thierry Henry, the year he put down those assists, they still lost the league. To who? Us, United. And you'll be hard-pressed to see in that United squad that beat Arsenal to the league. You'll be hard-pressed to see any individual numbers. It's all about team. The guy that put in the single season record assists, Lionel Messi, I think a single season of 32 assists, I think. But they still lost the league that year to Real Madrid. There is a pattern. I'm not saying that Bruno didn't help in terms of his goals and assists. But what did that cost us on the other hand? Yes, we're talking about Bruno is a dangerous player, but you can see across the game, across the league, the leagues, European or Premier League today, there are several players that can also be talked about as dangerous players. If you want to talk about Kvaratskhelia, Lamine Yamal, what's his name, the winger of Somerville, or you want to talk about Doku of City, you don't talk about their numbers. They just impact the game in such a way for 90 minutes that they are a problem. And we cannot debate that they are costing their team on the other hand. What we're talking about here is a balance that involves Bruno and in terms of what he's not giving us. And yes, Jarvis, I think we have a number 10. We have a bona fide number 10 in the team, and it's Kobe Mino. And when we move Kobe Mino up and we put two good midfielders behind him, we will have a better team. Bring in Baleba and the guy of Crystal Palace. I forgot his name. Watson.
Yeah.
That is our balance. Baleba, Watson, and Kobe Mino in the 10. That's our team. The Bruno experiment, we need to learn how to move past it. pass the
Facts.
baton. He's been here too long, way too long.
Just like Ozil and just like Aubameyang at Arsenal. And what did the owners do? And what did the director of football do? They didn't listen to the fan base because the fan base wanted to keep Ozil and Aubameyang. They got rid of them. And look what Arsenal did. They've won the Premier League. They're in the Champions League final. There we go, people.
Yeah, they got go ahead, Jarvis. Jarvis, do you take the point when I try to say that when you play through one player, you're giving him all of the ball, he has the free roll, and he's going to create. Obviously, he's found form. And since Carrick's come in, he's been playing really well. I think things are going to plateau. I think he's outperformed, really outperformed, as much as Carrick has outperformed. I think
overperformed.
Players that Manchester United need, I think we're going to struggle. Yeah, he's basically overperformed. Yeah, like in terms of like all of the stats. Like, I'll give you an example. The season before, it was Nottingham Forest. Woods was taking the first chance he was getting on goal.
Guys,
Woods.
I have to leave. Good night, guys. My
Good night,
daughter's
good night.
getting so
No problem, Lawani.
Your daughter's having Your daughter's having what? Having a party?
She's having a concert. She's in a band. So
brilliant, man.
amazing.
Big up, man.
Yeah.
Brilliant, man.
All right,
Big
big up.
up.
Good night.
Big up.
So, do you see in any relevance to my arguments, or do you dismiss?
Hang on, Nuri. Can I just
point
add to this?
and
Can I
think
ask
Bruno
you?
is the guy?
Yeah. Can I just add to this question, Jarvis?
Mm.
Before you even answer that, Jarvis, do you think Carrick is ever going to change the double pivot? Do you think he's ever going to change the 2-man 4-2-3? Do you think he's ever going to change it? Which is $1 million question.
No. I don't think so because
he's ever going to change it.
Well, people. Let's not forget, Carrick was the assistant manager of Ollie.
He
And
was
under
the guy
Ollie,
doing the coaching on the.
And when
Ollie.
we brought in,
Ollie didn't do any coaching. It was him and Kieran McKenna that did the coaching. Ollie came out and said, "I don't do the coaching. It's these two guys who do the coaching."
Yeah, that's fair enough. And but back then we played with McTominay and Fred. Those were the double pivot, and we had Bruno in the 10. Now again we have Bruno in the 10, and he relies on people doing the defensive work. 2 number 6s/8s. I don't know what you want to call them. I would say neither Kobe or Casemiro is a clear-cut number 6. So they both operate like a 2 number 6s, and they work like this all the time. And also, Bruno is. I get your point, Nuruddin. But you got to realize, and this it sounds a little bit what's the name, elitist or snobby or whatever. But most people, when they watch football, they watch the ball and they watch the player on the ball. And they watch what happens right there and then. And that's like level 1 out of 5 levels how to watch football. So again, that's the simplest way of watching football. So again, most people enjoy what Bruno is doing because Bruno is good on the ball. When he creates, and Bruno, he has, I would say, 3 attributes. That's forward passes, progressive passes, key passes, and assists. So mainly he never carries the ball. He can't dribble, and his defensive output is 50%.
So.
Yeah. So again, replacing Bruno with another Bruno, that's hard because there is no number 10s who plays like Bruno in the modern football. There are no one. Most of the number 10s in the modern day football, they receive the ball, turn with it, carry, and dribble. And then they have like a short through ball when they are close to the 18-yard box, like Martin Ødegaard, for example. And they know how to dribble. So again, I don't know how we can replace him. The only player, I actually like the idea of Luani because the only player, check the stats. If you compare Wharton with Bruno Fernandes, Wharton has a lot of key passes and progressive passes and forward passes. So we could actually replace Bruno by playing Wharton a little bit deeper. So that's the only way I can see us solving this because they are not even all the guys we have mentioned, like Anderson and Tonali and who else? Mateus Fernandes has been linked to us a lot of times. None of them have the passing ability of Adam Wharton. And so again, maybe from a balance perspective, he would be the best to bring in. But I agree with most of you guys. Maybe we should just try to drop the number 10 and go with a midfield 3. But then we should have picked another manager. So it's tough, guys. You know, it's hard to come from a trying to be sensible about this. If we are going to play with Carrick, Bruno will have to be the number 1 player for at least 2 more years, and that's just how it is. But obviously, a better midfield will
I just
make.
wanted to get your 2 pence, Jarvis. I wanted to get your 2 pence. Carrick, the decision has been made. Maybe we've not chatted since the decision has been made. Are you happy with Carrick? Or do you think there were coaches better out there than him?
Well, you know, right now I just think that we need stability, and in a way, I don't want to take the Carrick in, Carrick out debate. I want to give him a chance. I want to see more. Maybe I'm underestimating him. We only have had Carrick for 10, 12 games, and maybe he has more up his locker. The last game, for example, we actually did something different. You know, we played more expansive. We opened up. We bombed on with both fullbacks at the same time. We only had the rest defense of 3 guys. Sometimes just the 2 centre backs and Kobe Mainu. There were 3 in the rest defense. So again, you know, we let loose at least 7 guys attacking, and sometimes even Kobe Mainu joined in. So there were 8 guys attacking at once. So again, I haven't seen that before.
Do you think that's sustainable? Look into the context. Is there anything that you've seen from Carrick that you think tactically?
Yeah, but I'm afraid that we can go back to if he don't succeed, it will look like Ten Hag did. You know, with big gaps because we put too many people up front trying to attack, and we just clear the central midfield, and there will be big gaps. So it will be easy for the opposition just to run through us.
I actually think it's going to be the opposite. I think he's far more too pragmatic. I look at the coach that we've got, Steve Holland. Steve Holland is a pragmatic. He's not a front foot attacking style football coach. If you watch England, obviously you're Norwegian, you don't watch England, but we watched England in the past couple of 10 years when he's been at England, and it's been absolute dreadful. So I actually think, I personally think this was a game for Carrick to try to show the fans something to get behind. There was no pressure on this game. We were already in the Champions League. Forest were already safe. It was kind of a free hit. It was like no pressure in this game because we were already in the Champions League. It wasn't that much pressure. The game before this, there was pressure.
Yeah.
That was a pressure. Obviously, we didn't get beat. But I actually don't think that. I don't see it, me personally. And if they don't back him, I think regardless who the coach is we're not a manager, we have a coach. Regardless, without getting the 7-8 players, because the squad is deeply unbalanced. It's significantly unbalanced. We all know we need fullbacks, we need centre. Manchester United have conceded 50 goals. And I said 55. You know, that's what my thing. I'm wrong by 5 goals, by the way. And I said 55 because of the rate we were going. And I was talking about it throughout the season. And I think Luani broke it down. He said Arsenal have the best defense, even though they've not scored that many goals. Arsenal probably scored the least goals for the teams that have won the league in the last how many years. Somebody can find that out for me, but I'm telling you, they have the least goals for the champions in the Premier League than most teams that have won the Premier League in the last 10 years. 100%. The team that wins the league usually scores over 70 goals, 80 goals. It was ridiculous how many goals City was scoring, how many goals Liverpool was scoring, even finishing second. So for me, the defense is a big worry. I think we need 2 defenders. We need 3 midfielders. We need a left-sided player, I do think. And maybe if Sexy goes, we need another striker. So regardless, even if it was Areola, especially with Areola. If it was Areola, United would need to change the whole of the fitness coaching and injury rehab section, and they would have to bring in a whole 7 to 8 players, because the idea, one thing about Areola football, can a team play like that 3 games a week? Well, the only way you can play like that if you've got a huge squad.
Yeah.
And it is be able to freshen it, to have the same intensity and aggression, you know?
Yeah. I was Iraola impresses me, in the way he sets up his team, and we all saw the game tonight against City.
Alex Scott run that first half. He was phenomenal.
Yeah, he's so good.
Yeah.
I enjoy Alex Scott, but again, my worry with Bournemouth players is they are system players. They are set up in a way to play, and when you look at Bournemouth of the players they have sold, let's say just this season, Kirkes didn't succeed at Liverpool, Semenyo haven't succeeded at City, Huijsen haven't succeeded at Real Madrid, Sabarni haven't played for PSG. All of them, all of the best.
You get some rest. Nice one.
Yeah, Nerdo, don't forget to mention to them on them tomorrow about Areola. That's all I can really say to you, bro. But big up, man.
Yeah.
Big up. Great show, guys.
Yeah.
Tonight, really good, man.
But you can also see the level of quality in some of the players, Jarvis.
It's not.
I actually think
my point is, it's easy to be. It's very easy to be swayed by these players, but they play in a system that makes them look good. And a lot of these players that Bournemouth have sold haven't been a success in another team. So again, it worries me a little bit with players like Alex Scott and Krupi Jr. and all of them. Maybe they are just good because they are functioning in a really good team in a set system. Maybe it's not just their individual qualities, and that's actually what you're buying, their individual qualities. So again, I would be a little bit worried. No, if you get my point, I'm not trying to say Alex Scott is a bad player.
But no, I understand that. I think the system obviously highlights but they have to have the technical ability and the football to be able to play in that system. Yes, 100% I agree with you. The system gets the best out of them. The system is getting the best out of them. But Alex Scott his ball security is really good. His ball carrying ability is really good. Krupier, his first touch and the way he makes angles to score goals is phenomenal. There are certain things you see in a player. It's not just a system. It's the way the first touch, it's the second touch. He scored 13 goals this season. That's unbelievable. And it's not
19.
even a
19-year-old for a 19-year-old, yeah.
It's unbelievable. Yeah.
But Nuruddin, they're also a team that Bournemouth's also a team that trains 7 days a week. Those guys could run and run and run for days. Our team, Nuruddin, you know the coaching's like. Like I said, my worries with these guys, I just see players that are very comfortable. I don't see players fighting for the position. Shit, I might be in the team next week. It's just a loving comfort team it is at the moment. That was winning on vibes. Oh, I see it. We won on vibes. We didn't win on meticulous planning, on amazing. We tightened things up from what it was. But like I said, I'm like you. I'm worried next year. I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do next year unless we recruit really well. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. That's a good point. So
honestly,
I'm just a little bit worried going forward and what's going to happen with this Man United team. And I agree, Iraola, the players were really surprised when they had to go training on Sundays.
Sunday,
It was their day off.
You can see it, Jarvis. The way they run, I was shocked looking at the energy of that team. I was absolutely shocked. I didn't really understand, but then obviously,
that's what I'm saying to you. If he was going to come to Manchester United, we'd have to have a massive squad.
We'd have to have a clear out. There's no way he can make those players 7 days a week. That was never going to happen.
Do you remember on the Ranieri, they said, they couldn't drive back. It was too dark.
Yeah.
Remember?
That's what I'm saying. It's a loving Nuruddin. It's a loving. It's a comfort in. It's a loving Nuruddin. Look, the pressure was different. The pressure when he starts next year is going to be very different, okay? He's going to be under pressure from game one, okay?
Carrot.
All the games are going to be coming, And
The
it's like
honeymoon
you're trying to
period will
hold
be
a
over
building up
quickly.
with your hands, right? That's what it's going to be like next year for him. Trust me. I mean, next
Mm.
season, guarantee.
At the end of the day, listen, I still wish him well. I would like him to do well. But for me, it's the people behind me. But anyway, the people behind me here, people. You can see the Glazers and Ineos. This is what it comes down to. Again, congrats to Arsenal. They are one of the most boring teams to have won the league. And the 69 goals speak for themselves. They've not scored enough goals. Next season, they might be better. And I will always, my eyes don't lie to me. Whatever way I see football, my eyes don't lie to me. I'm never like, come back and oh, my eyes were lying to me today. I just tell it as the way I see it. I think Iriola would have had to change a lot. And this club's not willing to do that. So what we get into as fans is the framing.
He did it with young, hungry footballers. He didn't do it with sort of like, ours are sort of egotistical. Ours are like celebrity.
No, but at the end of the day, Irfan, at the end of the day, it's about the. But Irfan, it's about the football structure that you have behind them, because the football structure, who pays the wages and the owners who pay the wages, can demand the footballers to listen because you're getting paid to do it. Do your effing job and keep your head down and run. You know what I mean? That can be done, but we don't have that. What we have is what we have. But Iriola, you would have to change significant bit. But what? Because of our ownership, we get into the talking points of the ownership because we're too scared to hire somebody, so we stick with Carrick. That's the thing. Football club. That's that fear. Oh, something can go wrong. No, you've had a coach that proven it in the Premier League. In 127 years of their existence in Europe, they guaranteed Europe. Bournemouth are guaranteed Europe, and he's leaving. I've heard that he's linked to the job at Bayer Leverkusen.
Yeah, that's what people are saying.
Maybe that's where he's going. But he's took them to Europe, Irfan, for 127-year existence. They've never played European football, and he's took them to Europe. It's a shame he's not going to be there to take them. But because I'm hearing that they're in financial problems. And that's why he's leaving, because he's sick of all the best players getting sold every season. But at the end of the day, Manchester United are not willing to change that. So what do? We settle because of our ownership. It's that bad. We go, well, this coach can't work because of this, because we need to change it. We can't do that. Why can't we do it? If you want to win, why can't we do it? But anyway, listen, I'm going to be live tomorrow. If you guys are free, jump on. We're going to have a fascinating debate tomorrow. I'm going to try to get Bruno Fernandes lot to come. Or we're going to talk about other aspects of the football club and where the owners sit and what the Pep leaving has developed. Chelsea, because Chelsea now, are they going to be as bad as next season? Liverpool is going to be bad. Is there an opportunity for a Manchester United team to challenge for a league title because if they were to do the right things? Can we have that debate? Because Liverpool are not going to be stronger. And I don't think it's going to turn this around. It's going to take a significant amount of spending and goodwill to turn it around from the way it is now.
I can't see it.
It can happen. And Slot can come back and turn it around. But
can't see it. No.
When you've got 7 to 8 players liking Mo Salah's post, I don't know if you guys saw that. Mo Salah.
I saw it.
Yeah.
And 7 to 8 players, even guys they signed last season, like the post. So it's going to be very interesting. Obviously, Alonso going in at Chelsea. He's a manager. Did you see the difference, Jarvis, Irfan? He's going in as the manager, not as head coach. As the manager. 4-year contract. As the manager, not as a head coach. Alonso. Maresca. If Pep stays. Maresca. Arteta's Arsenal. Can they come again? These are the debate we're going to have tomorrow night. If you're free, join us, people. If not, no problem.
You know, one last thing, Nuruddin, just before we go, yeah? You know, you mentioned, Jarvis, you're a football man. Who's got the biggest pitch in the Football League? Premier League?
Well, Old Trafford is the biggest pitch.
No, the biggest pitch. Come on, Jarvis, you're the football nerd.
The biggest pitch?
The widest, biggest pitch in the Premier League?
I think United is up there. I think United is 1 or 2 or 3. United, Old Trafford is huge, Fan. Old Trafford is huge.
Do you know what the biggest is?
I don't know. I don't
Nottingham
know.
Forest.
I think.
Nottingham
Yeah.
Forest.
Nottingham Forest. Wow.
105 meters
City
by
ground.
71 meters wide. Okay. Yeah.
It doesn't look like that because of the way the stadium's built.
Yeah,
it
because
doesn't
it's
look
very
like that.
compact. Yeah, it is. It is.
Mm.
Right. Old Trafford, the Etihad, and Emirates, they're all 105 by 68 meters. So they're 3 meters less in width than Forest's ground, the City ground, compared to that's Emirates, Old Trafford, and Etihad.
Wow.
Which are all the same. Just a point to
Newcastle
remember.
pitch looks big as well. Newcastle pitch looks big as well.
Apparently, it's Nottingham Forest.
Yeah. Will Manchester United have a big pitch? In terms
I didn't know that. I didn't know. He triggered me before when he said that United's pitch is huge, and I thought, really? I knew it was big, but I didn't think it was the biggest pitch. Yeah. Barcelona's to me is a big pitch. Yeah.
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 That's a big pitch. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, it's been nice to chat to you lot. Big up. Make sure, please, you check out Ben Elmo39, Elmo20, Elmo20 on Twitch and TikTok. Make sure you check out Jarvis. I don't know what's happening, but it's not showing I don't know what's happened to YouTube. I don't know why it's not doing this. Something's going on with YouTube because when I trick on the people what they say, nothing comes up, and now your names are not coming up. Let me just try to change the format. That's strange. I don't know why your names.
You don't need to know it. Just say you go.
Anyway,
Bowley,
Tactical Devils. Make sure you check the channel out. Bowley BOLE77. Make sure you check out Irfan at Irfan Rainey on X and Irfan Rainey on Insta. It's love. Make sure you check out Luwani, Amanuel Luwani, 1979. Make sure you check out Sean at Sean Thomas on X and the Geopolitical Podcast, How We See Things. Big up to Adewale for the generous super chats. Big up to every one of you for tuning in. And congratulations to Arsenal again. First 5 months, I was entertained. The last 4 months bore me to sleep. And it's Tony Pulis.
There's about 50,000 fans outside Highbury right now. I mean, sorry. Emirates, it's about 50,000.
Well, they need to big up Tony Pulis because he's their greatest philosopher.
Yeah,
he influenced
the statue of him outside the ground. Yeah,
yeah, Tony Pulis.
And another curiosity just to mention: when Mourinho came in second, he came in second with 81 points, and Arsenal are today
won it with 69,
82. So. Yeah, I think they have 82 points today.
Let's check. I always get the numbers wrong. I don't know why. Oh, no, 69 goals, wasn't it? Yeah, 69 goals.
Yeah, 69 goals. So Mourinho came in second with 81. So, yeah.
And you know what it is? What is it? You know, it was the luck kind of came through. The luck of the draw in the European Champions League is there, and you know, Jarvis, you need luck. You cannot do it without luck. Every team needs that bit of luck, and they've had
the Havertz yesterday. He should have had a red card showing studs.
Everything's gone for them this year. Everything has gone for them. Trust me.
Gabriel headbutting Haaland. Nothing. He didn't get the 3-game ban for violent conduct. No goals conceded for the next 3 games. Again, it's just all those fine margins.
But it reveals that you have to be on your game hardcore to nullify these things that go your way to beat them. And sadly, Liverpool of a couple of years ago and City would have murdered this Arsenal, but they completely fell off the 100%.
I mean, that was
the difference. Yeah,
the standards have been crap. Do Manchester United have a chance signing Anderson now? Pep's leaving. 65% of you said yes. 35% of you said no. Big up to every one of you, man. Free Palestine always. And we'll maybe talk about it more because I've got a bit more of a breakdown, the actual article about the teams in the Premier League involved in the genocide. United and who else? That we finished third. It's crazy. We finished third, so that's really interesting. I think United and teams are in third in terms of our complicity in the genocide.
No, but Nuruddin, you know what that was? That was to do with I looked at it again. It was to do with how many linked sponsors the team had linked to Israel, and Liverpool came top with 6. Yeah. 6 sponsors linked to Israel.
I never doubt it. American heavily owned football teams, and the Zions are everywhere, interlinked with economically and the normalization aspect of it. This has been a policy of the state that's not real. To business-wise, culturally, to be interlinked to everything. Look who owns all the festivals now. Majority of festivals, the biggest clubs, all these different kind of every aspect of culture. They have to be sort of normalize genocide and occupation. So it is what it is. Love and light people, free Palestine, free the Congo, free Sudan, free Lebanon, free Haiti, free everywhere where people are spent, and free my people in the north of Somalia from the Zionist takeover. It's embarrassing. And most of all, we say condolences to the family of the man who all these Muppets jumped on in Dublin last week, and who unfortunately lost his life because too many people jumped on his back on the street. Somebody of Congolese heritage, and he's lost his life. It's tragic on every sense of the word. These Muppets who think they can play cops, they did exactly the same thing that what happened to George Floyd when everybody got on top of him and started kneeing him on the neck, and he died because he couldn't breathe. So yeah, it is what it is. Love and light, people. Look after each other, and we'll be back tomorrow night. It's the Europa League final. I expect Villa to win it. So it's going to be very interesting. Freiburg versus Villa tomorrow. Unai, good evening, will be celebrating, I think. I'll be shocked if they didn't, unless it's a red card or something. But yeah, good evening, they're going to win it. They found form Villa. So yeah, love. And then Jarvis will be back with a conversation, most likely, or on Thursday night at 9 o'clock usually.
Yeah, I won't be doing any shows until Thursday. And by the way, the Aston Villa game, they are up against is it Freiburg?
Freiburg,
yeah. So it's good for Bodø/Glimt if Aston Villa wins, because then Bodø/Glimt will be jump right into the last qualifying round of Champions League. If not, Freiburg will bump them down a notch, so they will have to go into that second qualifying round and play 2 rounds. So again, hatch it for Villa tomorrow. Yeah.
Big up. Love and light, people. Bodø/Glimt, thank to Bodø/Glimt for the entertainment they provided this season in the Champions League.
Buddha, not Bodo.
Bodø/Glimt, yeah.
Buddha. One of my best friends lives in Buddha. I told you, yes. He's a Man United fan as well. You remember Somnath Nuruddin? Remember Somnath?
Somnath.
Yeah, he's the hardcore. He's a hardcore.
He lives in Bodo. Yep.
That's where he's from. He's from Buddha. Buddha.
50,000. 50,000.
I get. Trust me, I get messages.
Of the artist circle.
He was messaging me every time Amarim was fucking up. I'd get the messages from Norway to me every fucking game. How am I going to keep this clown for? How am I going to get every fucking time? I said, don't worry, man. The pain has to get worse before it gets better. I used to say that. We haven't reached the bottom yet. That's the thing. You don't know when you reach the bottom. Thankfully, we stabilized. We should be thankful that we've stabilized to a degree.
Yeah.
But we don't know if it's full stability yet. We'll know next year if it's full stability. Cool.
Yeah, I reckon we will qualify another season for Champions League.
You think so?
Yeah, I reckon we will do that.
I would say only because I think the quality is just not there in the rest of the teams. If the teams were playing as they should do, we'd be struggling to get 4th or 5th. I do believe that. You saw the chances missed in that game on Sunday. I was like, fucking hell. I was shocked, to tell you the truth. It just shows it's just very comfortable at Man United. It just seems very easy, no consequences to nothing. It just seems very like a loving to me. That's what I watch.
The issue is we don't know the long-term effect of Carrick in this team. Training wise, how their fitness level will it drop? We all remember last summer when the players came back from holiday, they were all like super fit. Luke Shaw, Casemiro, they were put on a diet. Amorim was
Yeah.
into details, and
Yeah,
his
yeah.
fitness regime was really good. So I think we benefited of this from that this season. So again, I don't know if Carrick will continue with this, or we will be back to.
What I'm saying, Jarvis, I just don't see. I might be completely wrong. I don't see him as a disciplinarian. I just don't see it.
No.
I see him as like, come on now, be cool. That's all right. Come on, we got a bigger thing to. I don't see strict discipline. I don't see it. I just don't see it. But I could be wrong.
Anyway,
right.
it is what it is. No,
All right, we'll
next
see you tomorrow.
season's only around the corner.
Mm.
It's only around the corner. Love, light, take care, big up everybody. We'll see. All will be revealed in 4.5 months' time. Where we at? Big up.
Big up.
Make sure you catch Jarvis 9 o'clock Thursday. I'll be live tomorrow after the fight.